Welcome to the Gaunt Marches Freebooters on the Frontier edition. This is the second session of 3 of a campaign I called Into the Wild. Ironically, we didn't really venture too far into the wild last time. I am joined by 3 lovely people, Sabine, Pavel, and Christo. And the last time we kicked things off with like a television type of intro, where we described what, like if this were a television series, what would be the scene in the beginning featuring your character. And this time I would love to have you describe a scene from last session, like a short thing that your character did that aptly describes what they are, what role they play in this group of scoundrels. Let's start with my left, which is Christo. Who are you playing, and what would you see them do from last time?
So I'm playing Edustin, the magic user, who's really feeble, as magic users often are, I guess, and very abrasive. And the scene that I would depict is him on the bridge. The troll has just climbed up onto the bridge, and it's swinging Hugo around like a club. And Edustin will... This will be like one of those flashbacks that didn't actually happen. So we hear Edustin say, "Nobody touches my halfling," and he'll roll up his sleeves and expose his tattoos, pull out the orb, and cast the spell of Shaft of the Weakening Call, and weakening the call of gravity on the troll. And the troll, suddenly in surprise, just sort of lifts up like a huge balloon and floats away, dropping. I think that's when he dropped Hugo, or he dropped Hugo right before that. And so that would be the scene I think I would show.
Right, which was incidentally my favorite scene from last time. So the troll who was two-headed, one head with horns, and a robotic-looking metallic head with one red glowing eye, was shouting and screaming, but also looking at the first moment very surprised that gravity had no hold over him and was gently floating away. Can you describe a little bit how your character looks like?
Let's see. Edustin is very thin. He's got shoulder-length brown hair, stoops. He's got the tattoos all over his body except for his face, but you can't really see that because he's usually dressed, covered. He, of course, wears a pointy hat. That was from the random roll. That was not my decision. And let's see what else. Physically, I think that's about it. Brown eyes. He's pretty nondescript. He's very gruff. He's got a charisma of 4, so he can't be anything that really would draw people's attention, except for the fact, maybe the opposite, that he's just so not sociable. I think he's sort of the ideal bully's target.
Cool. And then next to Christo, Pavel, what is a scene from last week that you would want to highlight that we see in the beginning of our television series?
Yeah, so I think in the first image we see Hugo, who is like a halfling. He's dressed. He's wearing like a greenish leather armor with this like tiny short bow and some knife, and he's like really cool hat, which is like oh my god, the character from Pirates of the Caribbean.
Jack Sparrow. Captain Jack Sparrow.
Captain Jack Sparrow hat, but with a large feather on it. That's his like iconic item, and he's like sneaking through the crowd. So mostly like we see like this like top of the feather, and then the camera goes down, and we see that Hugo like cuts off the purse of some person who is talking to Nandor, and then the camera like cuts into the same person, Hugo, trying to like set this litter on fire, but he accidentally sets himself on fire, and then the last cut, like this burning fireball like being thrown and lands into in the fountain. So it's like a smash cut of 3 pieces, and there is like the letters like Hugo von Klinger, famous thief.
Awesome. Yeah, Hugo was definitely very mischievous last time, stealing and setting things on fire. And then last but definitely not least, the tank of our group of misfits, the fighter, Sabina.
Yeah, well, I think I'll go with exactly the same kind of scenes that Pavel used, but from another perspective. You first see Nandor talking to this elf, and she's looking at him like, "Oh, where have I seen him?" And Nandor smiles at her with this twinkle in his eyes, and you can see this fancy mustache really twirling around. And she's so suspicious, but you see some kind of maybe attraction, maybe even. And then we have and then we have you see Nandor a bit apart from everything, and you see these three stooges, which are Hugo and Idustin and Bayar, running around this coach and trying to set it on fire and accidentally setting the halfling on fire. So Nandor is kind of like, oh my god, they need my help. And he wipes some dust off, and he goes over, tosses the burning halfling into the fountain, like some sort of basketball player with a slam dunk. And then he looks at the camera and smiles and twirls his mustache, of course.
Awesome. And then there was also a fourth character, and I described an interesting scene from his perspective, from her perspective. So we have Bayar, which is a sorceress, I would say, an older lady, and we see the troll floating away. You're on a bridge. It's an old bridge with like these two big arches. There's the goat bend, the river rushing under it, and from the west approaching, there are warriors on. It looks like buffalo, maybe. It's these massive creatures with big horns, and they are charging at you. And in order to, boost, I think, Nandor, Bayar makes like extensive gestures and summons a creature, and that is also when we cut it the last time. So the situation that we are in at the moment, there's this bridge. On one side of the bridge, on the east side of the bridge, is Hugo. I think he's, I don't know, correct me if I say something wrong, Pavel. I think he's crouching and has his bow out, ready to release an arrow. Relatively near to him, close to him, there is an elven warrior who landed on his feet pretty elegantly after being thrown off by another weird spell of Idustin, who stopped the time of this creature they are riding on. And then on the bridge itself, but closer to the east side, is Idustin, the magic user, Nandor, and Bayar. And I think, again, Idustin or Christo, correct me if I say something wrong. I think Idustin just about climbed back on the bridge. Is that true? No, you climbed back on the bridge, then casted the spell on the creature.
I think Bayar was the one that had fallen off the bridge. I'd put
Bayar
back up.
So this is all like already like half a minute ago, because Bayar has conjured a weird demon. So what would Idustin be doing? Bracing for the impact of the warriors, or So what would we see you doing on the bridge? Is it like you're waiting for them, you're turning around, you're casting another spell, or preparing another spell?
Yeah, I think Destin would be waiting to see what the demon's going to do to react to that.
And then we have Nandor, and Nandor, I think you're facing the approaching elves on their buffaloes. And what do we see you? What kind of posture are you in?
Well, I'm in warrior attack everything posture because I've just pinned myself up into this, and as they come closer, I'm starting to think that this might not have been such a great idea, because yeah, I was at warrior camp sometime, but that but they're elves, and elves are usually scared of big strong humans, so I think I will just try to intimidate them by pounding my sword on my shield and yelling at them that I have 2 magic users and I'm willing to use them.
And what is your favorite weapon, by the way?
A sword.
A sword.
A long sword.
Yeah, and that longsword, is that like passed down from your parents, or is it something that you found somewhere? Is it part of like a military, like were you in a war or something? Where's the sword? Did you like made it yourself?
No, I didn't. I'm not imagining Nandor doing something like that. But it's a pretty showy sword, I think. He got it from his mother. She found it on a battlefield and passed it off to her kid and said, hey, this looks useless, so, well, try to impress some people with it, and you can carry it so you get some muscles. And so he's carrying it, and he's using it. He thinks he's good with it, but not against 5 to 7 elves. That's too many.
And Nando also you have a shield, and now you're banging your sword against the shield in order to roll yourself up.
Shield for myself.
Cool. So, and then
can I have a rules question? How does armor work, actually?
Yeah, the same as in Dungeon World. You just subtract the amount from.
Okay, I thought so, but I wanted to be sure. Cool.
So now we're coming to the weird thing, which is Bat-Baya and the thing she summoned. The idea was to enrage Nandor in order to give him a boost. But what happened was like in a circle around Bat-Baya, and Nandor is actually within that circle. It looks as if at first there's just as if the air is hot or something, but then in the next moment we see it looks like glass shards in a swirling storm, and they form erratic patterns, and these the general form or the general shape is like 3 vertical tentacles, and you all see Bat-Baya and this like extremely alien creature communicating. The problem is there is a sound of static in the air. It's like you tune the radio in between stations, and that drones out the talking of the demon and Bat-Baya, but it also drones out the sound of the approaching hooves. So what do you do? Let's start maybe with Nandor, because you're the closest to that scene. You could get closer to Bat-Baya to listen to what they're saying. You can try to get out of the circle.
I'm in the circle.
Yeah, you're at the border of that circle.
Okay, but did these elves, did they hear me, or was that already drowned out by the
No, they did. They definitely did hear you, and your.
Then I'm trying to pretend I planned all this.
Okay. So you're trying to pretend that the demon is on your side.
Sure. He's in the circle, so am I. That must be my demon. I just hope that Bayar knows what she's doing.
I would say make a saving throw with. So, I mean, intimidation is probably not with charisma.
There is a negotiate move. It's strength to intimidate them, which I'm even better at. So, but in this case, I would say charisma would be the better stat.
Well, negotiate is if you want something.
I want them to leave us alone, not to kill us. Oh yeah, I want something.
Yeah, let's do that. Let's negotiate non-verbally with banging your shield.
And yeah. Okay, so no. Sorry. Yeah, got an 8.
Awesome. So let's see. Yeah, I think that you see the lady you were talking to, or that you're flirting with, and she raises her hand to stop the charge. Hugo, what are you doing? The elf that fell from the buffalo is close to you and has his back turned to you, so he is moving away from you in the direction of Idustin and Nandor.
And are we in a? Because I believe that I was in some like slightly taller grass. Am I still like inside this like taller grass?
Yeah, you were thrown off the bridge more or less to the. Or you jumped exactly. So yeah, why not? You're hidden in the grass.
Well, Hugo is like he's standing with his bow, and he sees it. He sees that because those are the Zerutu, yes.
That's it again.
The people on the buffaloes are Zerutu.
The Zerutu that don't like you very much.
Yeah. So he notices that the Zerutu. So he notices that the Zerutu, the one that did notice him, that the others have stopped. So he will use this opportunity to like thin the herd, and he will put down the bow, take his knife, and go behind this one going to Industin, and just like really like kick him in the behind of his knees, so he like falls under the grass, and then just like eliminate this one.
Yeah, I would argue that if you want to get close to if you want to get close to the elf, you need to get there like silently before you can kill them.
Yeah, that's my super specialty move, silently. When you sneak from one place to another, name the destination behind his back, and roll plus dex.
Do it.
I don't think there's any acrobatic to be added to this one, so I will not. Let's roll the dice. The result is exactly the same. I will reroll again. Yeah, seems like a 12.
Oh wow, a 12. Let's see. So you definitely get there unhurt. And
I take +1 forward against whomever failed to notice me.
Yeah, and I would even argue you are like a trained killer. Maybe not the best killer in the world, but definitely trained in what you do. And they haven't hurt you, and you have a knife in your hand. So I don't think you have to roll anything if you want to kill them.
Yeah, so that's perfect. So Hugo, like, he isn't like he doesn't take jobs to assassinate people, but sometimes he really likes, finishing off the ones that are somewhere alone and don't notice him. After all, he's ruthless. So we just see the elf just like walk, walk, walk. He falls beneath the ground and just.
And in the meantime, it would probably not increase your chances of negotiation, just saying. But in the meantime, what is Edustin doing? So the elves stopped. You see that the storm, it's not a storm, but it's like the creature itself has these 3 tentacles, but the tentacles seem to consist out of like swirling glass shards. And Bad Bayar is now kneeling and about to disappear. What do you do?
Oh, you mean they're everything in the circle is fading out?
Yeah.
Well, it's tempting to let this problem go away. We do need Bad Bayar. Can I try to cast Shaft of the Weakening Call on Bad Bayar to exclude her from the spell that's being cast by the demon?
So you would weaken the tie between the demon and her.
Mm-hmm.
Let's go to the list of things. What if you have enough PowerPoints? Let's see.
So let's see.
So you're close by.
Mm-hmm. So that's 1 point.
That's 1.
Single target is 1 point.
Yes, 2.
What's the duration on this?
I mean the demon is disappearing now and taking Bad Bayar with you. I think it's probably 1. You
Okay.
just want to sever the tie as long as or until the demon is gone.
Mm-hmm.
I'm just thinking that it is a powerful demon,
Mm-hmm.
and it is a major effect.
Okay, so that makes it a 3. So that gives me a total of 6, which is the exact power I have with my orb. So Edustin pulls out the orb and says, "Not on my watch," and starts casting the spell to weaken the call. And I guess I need to roll. See if that works. Or if it goes horribly wrong. So I'm not sure if it actually rolled again. I think those were the same ones I had previously.
Yeah, just refresh. I had it as well, and Pavel as well. So just refresh the page, or maybe roll again.
Yeah, it's okay. So I refreshed it and do it again. Okay, yeah, that's definitely new. So that's a 9 plus 3 is a 12.
Holy crap. So describe how your spell manifests. The effect will be that Bad Bayar will stay and the demon disappears.
Mm-hmm. That's the goal. So I think what this ends up being is that you said there was sort of a heat shimmer field around it, and that it's almost like from the orb, it cuts into the shimmer field and surrounds Bad Bayar in another field. So maybe more of sort of a shimmering mirrorish field, almost like a reflection of sunlight on water. And so that she's actually protected from that way. So I've made sort of like a what would it be? Sort of like pushed my way into a balloon and grabbed her if she were inside the balloon, or like a soap bubble. Maybe that would be a better analogy. And so that I've pulled her basically out of the soap bubble. Does that make sense?
Totally. So I would say that she's still in that bubble when you roll her, when she rolls out. And Nandor, the lady very elegantly jumps from the riding creature, and she approaches you in like these long strides. Is that a word? Like aggressively, I would say. What do you do? But she doesn't have her weapon drawn.
Okay. Well, I've got a shield, I've got some armor, and I think I'll wait to see what she wants. And I might ask her. No, I have an idea. It's the hat. So I say parley.
Yeah. So parley. That's a cool old school thing to say. She actually stops. And she says, "Not only have you insulted my religion, you have insulted me personally with your despicable display of utter ignorance of my worth. I want you to apologize to me personally, and I want you to atone at the shrine of the temple you were trying to defile."
Well, I will, of course, apologize for whatever it is I did to earn your wrath, because that was not my intention, and I did not mean to deny your worth. I think you seem to be, to me, a very worthy person. And as to the shrine, I mean, I didn't defile it. I was just standing there, really, and not doing anything to defile anything. I wouldn't ever defile a shrine, why would I?
Well, you were at the temple, and you look like thieves. And she looks over to Hugo. You all look like thieves.
Yeah, well, now you're insulting me. That gets us nowhere.
Well, I think I am in the position to insult whomever I want to.
So you want to insult me? All right, I'll grant you that. You can insult me. I have apologized. Can we call it quits?
You need to go to the temple and atone.
And what would that entail, atoning? I mean, does it mean that somebody has to hit me with a stick, or that I have to pledge myself to 7 years of service? Because I won't do that, sorry.
Well, it would be enough to bring presents to the goddess, and then we see how she reacts.
Okay. Yeah, I think, sure. Hey, I'm deceitful. So, yeah, we'll do that. Of course, I can think of no better way of atoning to the insult we gave to your goddess. We never meant that, obviously.
And she, I think she has like this beautiful blonde hair, and she takes a, what's it called, like a scarf from out of her, she has it somehow put together in a scarf. She takes the scarf out and attaches it to your forearm with a knot. This is a sign that you are on a quest. Don't disappoint me, because, and she winks, I do like your mustache. And then she turns about, scrolls around, jumps on her.
What is your name? As she's riding off.
And as she's riding off, she says, Lady Beleniel.
Ooh, nice. And now we've only got the demon to deal with. Isn't that nice?
Well, the demon is slowly already is disappearing while you speak.
Oh, cool. So that's not a problem.
And Hugo with blood on his hands is there, and Idustin. So I would just assume that you go back to the village, to the town.
Sure.
Yeah.
Is there anything you're saying, Hugo or Idustin? Like, Batbaya is still in the bubble.
Oh.
Uh,
She actually beats her fists against the. Well, now let's say she's in some kind of. She looks a little bit like a baby in the womb. She's like floating in the bubble, maybe sleeping.
wait, the Bad Bayar or troll?
But. So, Chris, so you described it as like a bubble of sunlight or something?
Like a soap bubble, like with the reflections of the sun.
Yeah. And she's like somehow suspended within that bubble. And the bubble is rolling slowly in the wind from one side of the bridge to the other.
I think we would see like Hugo like walk out from this tall grass, like clean his knife, but his hands are obviously bloody. And he would like sheath the knife and just look at Idustin and just like, Idustin, you seem to be causing a lot of ruckus over here. What are we to do with this and that one, pointing at the floating troll? Like we were supposed to get his heads for extra coin.
Well, you can wait around. It will come down eventually.
Well, let's find its stash maybe and loot it. So even if these guys in the village don't believe that we floated the troll away, we will have something to show for coming out here. Besides this nice scarf.
And whatever loot you took from the body of the Zaruto you killed, Hugo.
Oh, didn't have time to do it. I will meet you downstairs. I'll meet you downstairs in the troll lair. I will just check the. It's a waste to leave the body like lying over there. So.
But and I think Dustin will like push the bubble. Maybe we and see maybe you can push the bubble with Bayar along.
Yeah, you can just roll her. So Hugo, you search the body. Please roll a d12 for me.
Ooh.
I will. 10.
10. Hold on a second. Can we make a like 5 minutes break? Is that okay for you?
Sure.
So around 57. So I can already tell you what you find on the body. So you find a small pouch with 30 silver pieces. And in the pouch, there's also a pair of dice. And they seem to be made from, tusks or something. What's it called? What is the material called? Like, for example, the
Ivory.
Ivory dice. And the 30 silver pieces. And in the meantime, Idastin and Nanda, you walk down. Do you roll button bar down the what's it called? The banks of the river.
Well, I guess it depends what Idastin and Buttbayar's relationship is. If we assume that she's padded in that and she can't be harmed, then he is sort of ruthless. So maybe he would just tell her to suck it up and let her roll down. Perhaps more likely would just be he'd like put stones around the bubble to keep it. Well, we're worried it might blow away though, or something like that. But yeah, I think he'll take it down with him. Slowly, though. He won't let it roll down. He won't be that ruthless. That would be cruel. He's ruthless to others.
So when you walk down the...
Nandor prepares to catch the bubble in case Idastin loses control of it, but he lets him do with it. I mean, this is magic stuff, really, so whatever he thinks is fine.
So Nando, you're first down then. And you do see that under the bridge, the troll has obviously dug some kind of, I wouldn't say to call it a cave, but some place where he probably slept. So it's about maybe 10 meters wide and 10 meters high. And is dug into the side of the bridge, on the east side of the bridge. And there's also a lot of junk lying around, like smashed up crates, parts of carts, for example. There's what's it called? Like a keg of something, and there's just a lot of rubbish, just things that he threw away or tear apart, fabrics and everything. So I do, if Idastin is careful, I think he can roll or maneuver Buttbayar down to the level of the river. So what do you do?
Yeah, I think there had to be something in these crates, and hopefully not just, I don't know, fish and machine oil or whatever this troll was guzzling. So let's see if we can find something that would make us richer.
So if you go closer, you can see that there is like the place that he dug into the side of the bridge. Is that the floor is covered with straw, and there's also there's some kind of like maybe a table, like a makeshift table, just two stones, and then like an old door or something laid over it, with his personal belongings. And then if you go from crate to crate, there's like shards of stuff that he had smashed. What do you do?
Curse? Damn. There has to be something of value here.
Well, you do know that he robbed travelers. That's what he did.
Yeah, so he has to have a hideout here, around here, where he puts his stuff, and well, we just have to search it. Where's Hugo? I think he would be good with this. Or can you cast a spell to find his loot? I mean, you're
I
a
don't
wizard,
think
right?
yeah, but I don't have a spell like that, I don't think. And we can't reverse spells, right? So I can't do the opposite, strengthen the call. So it's
Well,
so,
it would probably shift the power level like one or two steps up.
Hey guys, any luck finding anything down there?
Oh, by the way, Hugo, when you bagged the dice, you had the feeling that they felt peculiar.
Well, I will take care of them later. Now let's find some troll loot. So I imagine that Hugo's standing maybe on the bridge, maybe just next to the bridge, he didn't go back down, so he just like shouts down, "Hey guys, any luck finding stuff down there?"
No, not yet. Maybe we could use your eyes.
Okay, I will look if I can see anything from here. So I will just like look around because maybe there are like footprints that the troll was moving somewhere. I will check like both sides of the bridge. I will pay like a short glance to see if this druid we hired yesterday or today is still alive and floating somewhere in the water, or KIA. And just like look around. Maybe the troll was storing. Maybe the troll was wise and was keeping the loot, I don't know, somewhere else, and had another hideout.
Yeah, Vilma was her name. I think she's MIA. She's missing in action.
Okay.
She definitely she fell into the water. You can't really say if she's alive or dead. But when you look down the river, you can definitely see the troll like floating in air and moving south.
Okay. And any signs of maybe like some troll footsteps where he could have had other kind of loot or stuff like that?
Yeah, the floor under the bridge is actually there are a lot of footprints of the troll. He was definitely or they were, because there were two, walking up and down on the west side of the bridge. I mean, you could let's see, what would it be? You can perceive, I guess.
Perfect. That was exactly what I was trying to do. Wow. Another 12. This time a different combination to get a 12. Plus my 12 with my wisdom. So hold 2. The first question I'm going to ask, like, where would a troll store his precious items that he had stolen from the trollers?
I don't think that you would be able to get a sensible answer based on the footsteps. So the footsteps go into this cave out, his cave, let's call it his cave. And they also lead from one side of the bridge to the other, like on the west side, to the north of the bridge and to the south of the bridge, if you follow my drift. So he could have buried it, somewhere under the bridge, but I think you would have seen that, like you have paid close attention to the floor. So you can exclude that he had buried it under the bridge, and it could also be in his cave.
Have you checked the troll cave, actually?
Have we?
No. You have checked the crate and the rubbish that was lying under the...
Okay. Good idea.
I see a huge hole down there.
Yeah, that's a good idea. We should have thought of that standing in front of it.
I thought that's where we were. I thought that's where all this stuff was.
Yes, so did I. Never mind. Yeah, let's check out the cave. Is there enough light in the caves, around the cave, so we can see in there, or do we need a torch? or
No.
something?
If you stand like it's in the middle of the day, and the cave itself extends maybe I don't know, 5 meters in or something.
Yeah. Okay.
So it's not really a cave. It's more like he dug out a place where he would be safe. And as I said, there's straw on the floor, and there's this makeshift table. And you can you can look under the straw and on the table and under the table. And what you find is that there's like at one place the floor sounds hollow, and there's some kind of planks or something wooden laid over a hole. What do you do?
Yeah, that's got cracking. I wouldn't want to open up this floor hole thing. I don't know if this is so heavy that I have to bend bars and lift gates, or if I can just do it.
No, it's not really necessarily heavy. So when you lift the this wooden plank, there is like you hear a crushing sound from above you. What do you do?
I try to get out of the way.
Saving throw with dexterity. It was like a really badly created trap.
Yeah, well,
trap nevertheless.
Yeah, I didn't think trolls knew how to set traps, but I rolled a 10, so that should be okay.
So you jump out of the way like a stone, one of the stones similar to the one that Dustin loosened last time. So like really a big one crashes down and now blocks the hole.
That was totally on purpose. So we could check for other traps, because this stone would have triggered all of them. And now, well, we have to push the stone out of the way, I guess. Which
but it's really heavy. So
so I would try to lift with my legs and not with my back. And if I can't do it, the mage has to do it. Has to float the stone away.
So yes, please roll plus strength.
Yay.
So, and I forget how aid works. I guess a Dustin might. I think a Dustin might watch this time around, actually.
You would have to describe how you help. I mean, you can just lean against the stone and push, depending on what Nandor is actually doing. I mean, does it look like Hercules lifting the stone over his head, or is it more like?
I don't think so. No, Nandor has a big mouth, but he usually is not quite that stupid just to make like this. If he can just push it out of the way, so he'll just push it, and if Dustin wants to help, he'll tell him he should just push too. Every little bit helps. And think about your legs, right?
I think Dustin will say, I'm still not over, all the weakness I've had from spellcasting, but I can, because it takes a lot out of me, but I think I can just lighten the boulder and make it easier on you.
Yeah, that's cool. Do that. That's a good idea, yeah.
So I don't know if you want me to roll for that or...
No, that's okay. I think that's more like a, what's it called? Like the small tricks.
Parlor tricks.
Yeah. And please take a +1 from Dustin. And Dustin, please mark +1 bond with Nandor. So now you have 2, I think.
Cool. So I have a 10 with Nandor's help, with Dustin's help. And I can choose 3 from the list. It doesn't take a long time, nothing of that use damage in the process, you don't attract unwanted attention, you can fix the thing again without much effort. I don't think I want to fix the thing anyway, so I'll choose the other 3. It doesn't take a long time. Nothing of value is damaged, and we don't attract unwanted attention.
Cool.
Yeah.
So you push the stone to the back of the cave, and under it there's a, as I said, it's just a hole, and it is filled with a couple of sacks, different sizes. That one has like, I don't know, like what would it, like a symbol of, actually the symbol of the Zarutu. Another has is like an official bag from the Bank of Yilton, and there's also a really big helmet that like it wouldn't fit your head, for example. And the helmet is made from metal and has three, like similar to the red eye of the one of the heads. It does seem to be able to glow, but you don't know how that would work. And if you open all the sacks, it is in total 320 silver pieces.
Nice.
320 silver pieces and like a metal helmet.
Mm. So I guess each of us gets 106, and then we have 2, I don't know, for some kind of, I don't know. We have 2 over.
Okay.
Hey, you've got dice, haven't you? We can just roll for it.
Nah, you can pocket the change.
Cool.
You earned it, Nandor. Scaring the Zarutu, you definitely earned this 2 coins.
So we can take the helmet back and say that we got rid of the troll then.
Yeah, right. And then we get even more money.
Exactly. And we did get rid of the troll. It's still floating away.
Yeah. It probably won't come back. It looked pretty scared up there, I think.
Dustin, you just it's a perfect thing to scam the mayor with the helmet. I really like you.
So unless you want to do anything under the bridge, we can fast forward a bit. So we do see like an off-screen event. So we see the troll floating in the air over. He left the river and is now floating over the. It's called the knee-high sea. It's like an area that is covered in water with a lot of like small islands sticking out of them. And in that very moment when we see him, the spell ceases its power and he falls into the water. Okay, so you stand in front of the mayor's house, which is like a one-story stone building with a reed roof next to the tax collector's office. And
one moment, guys, before we go in, let's switch the way the heads were arranged. So we say it had a metal, his metal head was the left one. So if it comes back, we can say that's his brother.
You're muted, Pavel.
Yeah. Oh.
Perfect. I was too busy to look which one was which one, so I trust you.
Awesome. So the mayor is in his office. The door is open though, and you see that he's sitting in he's sitting in a very comfortable chair in front of a fireplace, and next to him there are 2 dwarves, and they are just finishing a conversation, and the dwarf says, well, that's settled then. We're getting to work tomorrow. And they walk out. And he turns to you and says, "Oh well, the heroes have returned."
And I totally imagine that Hugo is the one with this like huge helmet. That's oh yes, and we brought the proof. And he just like puts the helmet in front of the mayor.
Yeah, there's like an oaken table where I can put it, and he says, "Well, did you get the ears or the head?"
We brought you the troll helmet because his head were so nasty and so smelly. So we brought you his helmet he was wearing.
And besides, he was falling apart because we magicked him out of this existence. So,
well,
but there is this helmet, and it's the trolls because it's none of ours, and it's probably not yours.
I trust you that you dealt with the monster, and as promised, without the ears and without the head, this will be 100 silver pieces. And he may be interesting for Hugo. He goes to a chest in the back of the room next to the fireplace, opens the chest with a key. And yeah, you have a look at it, and there's definitely more than one sack. And he takes out one sack and puts it on the table. So this was closes the chest, locks it again, has the key disappear in his waistcoat, and he says, "Well, it is good to know that there are honorable, actual, real heroes capable of defending our town. So I do know that next time there's something wrong, I know who to trust."
Yeah, I'm just picturing these three guys who probably look not very trustworthy, but I like that.
Perfect. And Hugo just like grabs the coin purse, glances at the content if it's like 100 over there, because yes, he gives us 100. Yes.
Yeah.
Well, okay, helmet. Yeah.
Yeah, we can sell the helmet. I mean, you didn't pay us for the helmet, so we can take it, right?
That is true.
Cool.
You can take the thing. And maybe I heard that there's this clockmaker from the watchmaker from Eilton in town. He might be interested in these kind of artifacts.
Eilton, this one.
Thank you.
Yeah. So where would you celebrate the treasures that you've gathered and the victory?
Well, are you saying there's more places than just the barn?
There's just the barn.
It's a trick question. Okay. So I guess we're going to and you'll hear Dustin's stomach give a huge rumble. I think we need to go celebrate.
So people are actually like while you're moving through town, rolling that weird ball with Batbaya in it. They do like have some suspicious glances at you, but actually the news that the troll has been slain travels incredibly fast through the town. So by the time you reach the barn, there's already people waiting from you. That people come to you, slap you on the shoulder, and congratulate you for your victory.
And I think with each slap, Dustin basically stumbles and almost falls.
Yeah, and I wonder would Hugo spin some crazy stories about the fight?
Well, Nandor would. Oh, Nandor would. He would love to spin crazy stories about the fight. He would also love to tell everybody about the fight. And maybe those stories aren't really all the same story, but, well, you know, the troll gets bigger, the number of heads grows more, and, well, yeah. But, yeah, he likes to tell stories.
So there's no, what's it called? Like in classic D&D and also in Dungeon World, you have the move where you carouse. That's not really part of Freebooters, but you can throw a party if you want to. And I do have a random table that we can roll on. And you can also get, like, because during the party, you will obviously talk about your adventures, but people will talk to you and spread rumors. So depending on, do you want to like throw a big party, or is it just like, you know, you sit together and have a couple of drinks, or do you actually invite people and pay for their drinks? What's the setup?
I would think that they should invite us and pay for our drinks because we're the heroes. I mean, that's kind of how it works, right? Not that we pay people to tell them our stories. I mean, come on.
That's not how it works. How it works is you throw a party, and then for every 100 silver pieces you invest, you get a +1 on the table. And the higher the roll, the better the party is and the better the outcome. And there's also, like, before you make a decision, you cannot just, you know, you can just talk to people and drink, and we don't roll on the table. You don't carouse properly. And there's also a mechanic in Freebooters where you stash money. If you stash money, you can, if your character dies, for example, you can use the money that you have stashed to buy experience points back so that you could level up. So, and also there is the final goal in Freebooter that we won't reach in 3 sessions, obviously, that when I think you get 10,000 silver pieces in your stash, you can retire in style.
Well, since we can now buy anything on the market, and we just have 1.5 session left, and I don't know any rumors, why don't we throw a party? So Hugo just like comes to Nandor and is like, hey Nandor, you know, let's throw a big party. Maybe we can, you know, get lucky, find some nice halfling girl and some nice human human woman, and, you know, party. So yeah, let's pay off the bartender. So
we throw a party and throw away all the money we got for feeding the troll. Yeah, it sounds about right.
Not all. Just, you know, like a small party. You know, it's a barn after all.
Yeah, it's a barn. So maybe we can, we can negotiate about the price for a bit. I think that's a tremendous idea. We should do this. Hey, barkeep, bring us and all of these people here something to drink, and not the filthy stuff in the dishwasher water, but the good stuff.
There's a gigantic, when you say give all the fine people here something to drink, there's a huge cheer. And depending on how much money do you want to spend on the party, like the minimum would be 100 silver pieces.
Yeah.
100 silver pieces a piece, or from all of us?
No, together, all together.
Okay. Yeah, I think 100's reasonable.
Yeah, 100's reasonable. It's a barn. Come on, how much more could we spend?
Exactly.
Yeah, so let's do 100 silver pieces party.
Yeah, so please roll a d12. Roll a 2d6.
2d6. Nandor, you are spinning all this white crazy stories, so I think you should roll for the party.
Should I roll? I will.
You're the main attraction. You're just like talking, and then you like jump up and you cut off one head. And who is yes. That's exactly what happens. So you're the main part.
Apparently, what I'm doing is I'm talking everybody to death. So because I want to be free. So it's more like Nandor is talking and everybody else is listening, and we don't get any rumors, or maybe something else will go wrong.
All right. So this is how the party started. People come to you, and during the celebration, they actually do bring you like drinks, and so first of all, you get a couple of rumors. So let's see, Nando, could you roll a what is it called? Let's see, Go Bridge. Roll a d20, please.
Cool. We've got an 11.
11. And Pavel?
Yes, what do you want me to roll?
Yes, please.
Also d20?
Uh-huh.
I will reroll your one. The d20. I got 17.
Interesting. And then Dustin / Christo.
13.
So let's start with Dustin. You are approached by actually a merchant from Alamein, and I don't know, do you dance or do you like sit in the corner? What's the how do you celebrate? What's your party mode?
For Dustin?
Yeah,
He's
there's music playing.
He's gluttonous, so he's just got like all of the food, and he's sitting in the corner, and he's got stacks of the plates, and he's eating, and he's got Butt Bayar probably like the bubble propped up next to him like there, and she's sort of watching, and he's like eating on a drumstick and says, "This is really good. When you get out, you'll have to have some."
And I think that once in a while, like a farmer's girl or something comes over and gives you like, I don't know, an extra helping of cream or I don't know, like freshly baked bread. But while you're eating, there are a couple of other people sitting around. There's this elfin merchant, and he's talking to the smith of the town, who's already half drunk. And the merchant says, "Have you heard that the red dragon has been slain?" Which it was like a huge thing. The red dragon terrorized the fields of Alamein for, I don't know, like as long as I'm alive. And old Tom, the smith, says, "Oh yeah." And then the other guy says, and it was like a group of strangers that went into his cave, but actually the cave is an entrance to an underground city. That's what I heard, at least. And then what's the party mode of Hugo? There's music playing. There's a fiddle. A couple of people are dancing. Are you said that you want to dance with the female folk of town? I mean, you're short.
Yeah, I think that was Hugo intention, but despite him being part of the story, he's like burned, and he was never a nice looking guy. So maybe after like not really succeeding at dancing with anyone, he just like slumbers in the corner, and after like an hour or two, he's probably like passed out because he was so sad that he drank way too much, and he's probably like somewhere under the table after 2 hours or so of the party.
Yeah, before so you do get a drinking buddy who actually managed to fill your glass every time it's empty, and it is Petey. I don't know. I think he was at the barn the last time. He's like a younger guy with dreadlocks, and Petey says, "You know, you look like someone with like a shady past. I just know the story for you. So you probably heard of about these this evil goat man in the north, don't you? So, anyways, they live in these caves, like in these barrow mounds. But some of the barrow mounds are still sealed, and kings and like heroes are buried there with their weapons and all their treasures. And then, you react to that before you pass out?
Oh, barrow mounts. Yeah, that sounds like it's going to be interesting adventure.
And then you're gone. And then lastly, Nando, you are the center of the party. Like
Of course,
people surround you. You at any time you have like 2 cups of wine in your hands, and
Nice.
people say, "Tell the story again." And there's like,
Well, yeah, okay, I won't. You are all there.
and you get more and more drunk, like really, really, really drunk.
Oh, that's kind of was the plan, yeah.
And the last thing you remember before passing out is that, you know, the Zarutu, they have this temple with golden idols. It's an easy target. And then comes the bad news. When you wake up, Nandor, all your money is gone. You have been blind.
Oh my
That's
God, no.
Okay, you wake up with a like majestic hangover, but I think before you wake up, probably Dustin and Hugo wake up. Do you do anything? Like, what's the first thing you would do?
Is it like the middle of the night or like late morning?
No, it's the next morning. I think Hugo wakes up, I don't know, like in the middle of the morning. The sun is already up for some hours.
Yeah,
And
I think first thing that Hugo will do, he will put some like tiny little pillow or like roll his jacket under Nando's head so that he sleeps a little bit more comfortably, and then probably like order some good food for like hangover. So probably, I don't know, some like very light, and then drink out of. I'm not sure if they serve water over here.
yeah, definitely. There's like a.
So he would order there probably like the worst beer, so that there is like little alcohol and a lot of water, like, you know, on the hangover where you drink the worst beer. So, and like order there like a breakfast.
So when you get up, Dustin is already awake for some time, and he sits at a table with a big bowl of porridge before him, and it's actually like it's a burnt table from the rat and monkey, and scratched into the surface of the table there's a map. So the map of the surrounding of Goldbridge. And please, Hugo, take +1 bond with Nandor, because that was really sweet to take care of him. So sometime later, you all are awake, Nandor. You realize that you have been robbed. Do you do anything about it, or do you just want to move on?
I will complain a bit because I've had a hangover, and then I will explain to my 2 comrades that somebody took my money, and I really hope it was one of them to keep it safe. No? Oh no.
Just like mechanical question, do we start with bonds +1, or do we start at 0 with bonds with everyone?
Yeah, I would assume that because the basic assumption of the game is that you have traveled for some time together. So I would say you have +1 when you start. So now you would have +2.
Okay. Oh, I'm sorry, Nander, but I must have passed out before you did, and all those crowd around you.
Oh no.
I was sure you are safe. You know what they say, that a sheep is safest with the herd. So I thought that you will be safe in the herd of other humans.
I don't understand that. I think you didn't insult me. I'm not sure. I have a headache. I guess we probably won't. There were a lot of people there, right? And they all look shady. And I don't think we will find them, right? Is there a thieves guild in this place? Probably not.
Well, you know, we could look for someone who is flushed with money, but maybe we can, you know, go and take a look in the barrow mounts, and then you can make this amount of money in one day. So
okay, then we do that. I mean that's just karma. I think that's just karma. I mean, maybe I might have taken some money from drunken people before, so I should know better.
If you need anything to prepare before going to barrow mounts, oh, by the way, it's like Hugo speaking, not me. We can go somewhere else. So, but don't worry, I can lend you some cash till you get yours back. And
oh wow, that's nice of you. Yeah, I think I want some breakfast. Maybe later. I've got to go.
And I think Justin, while they're doing that, he's actually horrifyingly chipper because he didn't drink as much as everybody else. He was primarily eating. And he turns and he says, well, we can always, if we go out and we get a lot of loot from the barrow mounds, we could do another party, but this time it could be a trap for whoever the thief was, and we could try and see who will try and rob Nando again.
I like that one. I like that one.
Perfect idea.
Yeah. Yeah, okay. But I thought didn't we want to go to the temple in the Knee-High Sea, or is that out again?
Isn't that the direction that the troll floated towards?
Okay, yeah, that's this barrel thing.
He did float to the south, that is true.
Oh, damn.
I like your spunk that you want to finish the job. That might be good.
Yeah, sure. But I think that troll has maybe learned its lesson, and he could go and be a monk or something. Can trolls be monks? Does anyone know?
Troll? I don't think so.
No, okay, cool. So
the barrow mounds might have magical items or something like that. I think it'll be less wet. I think that might be more appealing.
Okay, so let's go and find magical weapons in the barrow mountains. I always wanted a magical weapon.
So incidentally, if you look on the map, there are barrow mounds. Do you see the map? So yeah. You do know where they are. Is that your goal?
I know what everyone thinks. We have a rumor about the cave of a dragon that leads to some underground city. We have the rumor about the temple we attempted to rob.
We also have the quest that Nandor is supposed to do, whatever that is.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's bringing presents to the temple of the Sarutu, and then we're gonna rob it. But we can take our time because we need some kind of present that is not too costly, but that looks kind of nice. You know?
Then in the barrow mounds it is, I think.
Yeah, maybe we can find the head of some old, I don't know, king, and that's pretty much a good present, I guess. Oh, we can still sell the helmet of the troll, so maybe then I'll have some money. Unless somebody stole it, that heavy thing.
Nah, come on, it's the damn thing is still there. It's so big we can use it as a pot. Just need to close the eye holes.
Yeah, but we could just use a pot as a pot and sell a helmet. I mean, just saying.
Okay. If we are going to barrow mounts, we should prepare, and we need some adventuring stuff.
Yes.
So my bag is full. Anyone wants to take? Dustin, do you want to carry your own rations this time around? So I can load some gear, rope, hooks.
I'm still not fully recovered. Do you mind carrying them one more time?
Well,
I'll carry the healing potions.
I also need to. Do we have some healing potions?
I was going to buy some.
Okay. Then I can carry your rations. But do you think we still need the lamp oil, or can we dump it and I should take some rope, some hooks, and other useful gear?
I think we need a source of light.
Yeah.
Well, lamp oil. Then we should. Then maybe we should buy the lamp because I think we have torches, but not the lamp.
Right. So what do we have? Where am I? I'm here. I've got torches, and somebody else got the tinder box, I think.
Yeah, I have it.
Okay. And I've got a rope, and I've got rations, and I've got nothing else. But I think I can carry one more thing. Yeah.
Can I just buy the potions from the apothecary, or do I have to roll for that?
No. You can buy everything that is on the list unless it says, I don't know, rare or something.
I think the magic potions are rare. Yeah.
Oh, okay. Then you have to we have to play it a little bit and then we roll. So you go to.
Then I'll. Everything else has a weight though, doesn't it? The healing potion doesn't. Yeah. Okay. I'll just buy bandages then instead.
Cool. Yeah, you can get everything on the market. There's always these herb sellers.
So I'll buy 3 sets of bandages, which gives us 9 bandages.
I already have 5 left, so just saying.
Well, you could give the bandages to me then if you'd like, because they don't have any weight, so I can carry them.
Yeah, but what do the bandages do? They don't heal hit points,
do
they?
They heal 1.
They do. Oh, wow, that's nice.
They heal 1.
Cool. So I can carry one more thing.
So
what should we take? I've got torches. Should I take more torches? Do we need a 10-foot pole, maybe? I mean, we've got a rope, so we can take this one.
I was actually thinking about buying adventuring gear, but it weighs 2. And I'm already at my limit.
Okay.
So basically, we have no use for lamp oil without a lamp. So unless we want to buy lamp, I can dump the oil and try to take the adventuring gear.
Yeah, or you dump the lamp and take the torches, and I take the adventuring gear.
Yeah, that could be an option.
That would work, right? Because
okay. Okay, so I will dump the lamp oil.
Yeah,
I will take your torches.
And I'll take the adventuring gear.
Oh, and I will pay for it. I believe was 20.
Yes. Adventuring gear. So that's cool.
Out of curiosity, is there any? Because I believe we were out of town for 1 day. Is there anything going on with town after we burned this thing and robbed the tax collector? Is there some, I don't know, is the town guard looking for thieves or what is going on? What's the follow-up after this?
Yeah, that's, you can also have asked that during the party. You haven't seen anything when you walked through the town, but at the party you were definitely talking to the shady person who told you about the barrow mounts. She says, they sent someone back to Eelton. Apparently, they want to call for the judge. The riding circuit. It's a judge who travels the land, and he's supposed to be really, really smart about finding out who is a criminal and something. and stuff. So I will probably, leave town for the time being when he arrives.
Cool.
And the tax collector is furious.
Excuse me, who is furious?
The tax collector is furious.
Okay. So a question, because I'm very wounded. At least my attributes are very wounded.
Yeah.
So if you take a rest, I can heal some of those points. I believe this is like pour in lodging. Am I looking at it right?
Yeah, I would suggest that because normally what we do is we actually start and end every session at the town, and then we have like a week where you can do something, and then the next session starts. But because last time we were in the middle of the fight, that didn't seem to make sense. But if you want to, you can have the week of regeneration now.
Yeah, and maybe we can like use the downtime action, because otherwise we won't use them.
Yeah,
so
exactly. So if you want to, we just assume that you spend the next week in Goldbridge, which would also mean that probably the judge will arrive at the end of the week.
Yeah.
So I will take my risk because we will leave by the end of this week. So I will take my risk. It could be fun.
Mm-hmm.
So how much do we have to actually pay to spend this week?
Yeah, let's see. So the accommodation is poor. Let me go to the what's it? Basic rules. Downtown is at the end. Settlement moves. Recover. When you spend 1 week of downtime resting, you heal hit points and/or ability points according to your lodging. Yeah, I think it's poor lodging until the tavern is rebuilt. So that would be 2d6 plus your constitution. Or you could go back to the temple, which has skilled healers, and you would be able to double the result of the roll. But they might ask you for something.
The Lady of Pain, isn't that what the temple was?
That is true.
Well, I lost quite a lot, and despite Hugo being self-aware that he has never been a pretty halfling, he might actually like try to. Yeah, so I think if we are doing like downtime, so if we spend this week in town, I will definitely recover with the help of the temple. So whatever expenses I have to make for it.
And also, I don't want to be a dick, but your armor got burned, so you would have to buy that new. I completely forgot when we played last time. So let's see, what is your... so the cost is 6 silver pieces minus charisma.
For lodging, it looks like 8 minus charisma.
Let's see.
That's what I have too.
Where do you see that?
In lodging.
Lodging.
Oh, I'm sorry. Yeah, I'm at the wrong sheet again. Let's do 8 then. 8 minus your charisma.
So my charisma is -3. So in my case, it's 11. So I'm going to spend the 11 coins, and then we will keep subtracting from it. 23. Cool. And do I have to? I'm not sure if Horse is listening.
Yeah, and the so.
And I have to pay for the healer's help as well.
Exactly, and it's also standard. It's a service, isn't it?
Yeah, I'm looking in services. Healer is 16 silver pieces per week.
So you pay that.
Okay. Yes.
It's also that the like when you enter the temple, the memories from your your last stay flood back. So it's definitely a bittersweet stay. It's always dark, only illuminated by candlelights. The Sisters of Mercy, they talk to you in this very hushed, silky voices, but they seem to like to do you pain. So they, it's like, removing a what's it called, like a band-aid from very hairy arms or something, but on a regular basis. And they also tell you about, like, you do have to listen to the story of the Lady of Pain a lot, and listen to the songs. Like you're in this back room, and once a day there's this choir of women singing, and I don't know. The whole experience is bittersweet, I would say, and you do get your ability points or hit points back or whatever you choose. But I don't know, how does it affect you? Does it bring you closer to the Lady of Pain or further away, or does nothing change?
I think so, starting from the second day, after they, cut off his like burnt marks, they have to heal properly. And he really starts to consider that maybe this place should burn. Like by the end of the 5th day, he's sure that if they will do this to him one more time, this tavern, this temple will burn. So after 5 days, he like doesn't go there anymore, and we see him like he's like the first one ready to leave. He's just like, okay, yeah, guys, like we need to leave. Like I'm done with this temple. I'm never going there back. I prefer to die than go there one more time.
Okay, and then what is the rest doing? You have a week of downtime, and you have a couple of options, I think.
So just to finish with my recovery, I roll for poor lodging, and then I double that for healer's help. So let's finish with this one.
Yeah.
Yeah. Let's hope for the dice will be generous with me.
They're not.
Oh my god. So
it's because you don't believe in the Lady of Pain. That's it. You're resisting their help.
Yeah. So apparently, I have healed 2 points. Because I rolled 2 minus 1. It's 1. Double that. It's 2 points.
Just trust the dice.
Oh my god. Yeah. So.
And do you? I don't know. Can't you heal ability points instead? You're muted, Pavel.
That's my plan, to heal ability points,
to
heal some constitution.
Yeah. Okay, that was like not really super successful, but what is Nandor doing? Do you train, or do you, I don't know, look for the thief, or?
Well, I don't have any. Yeah, you go ahead.
No, go on.
Crystal. No, go ahead.
No, you go first.
Okay, so I go first. So I would like to look for the thief.
Is that,
or I
is
could
that research?
Yeah, what would that be? That's a good question.
You can research. You could research about the barrow mounds and the terrible goat men that live there. You could research the identity of the thief to get your money back. You can craft an item.
Okay, so I want to find a buyer for for the helmet.
Oh yeah, you can find.
Because I don't have any money, and if I don't find a buyer for the money, then I will have to work. Well, what else should I do? I mean,
yes, you can work for money.
Yeah, that's a fallback plan, because I really don't want to sleep outside. Nah. But I would like to research the thief. But oh, come on. What will I do when I find him? I'll probably buy him a beer if he tells me a sob story. So
I'm pretty sure your friends who have +2 bonds with you would be able to pay for your accommodation at least.
Yeah. I'll pay for Nandor, whatever.
okay. So then I'll go and research the thief because I'm a bit pissed, and I'll try to sell the helmet.
So let's do the selling the helmet first. So try to find a buyer. Let's see, where is that?
That's on page. They don't have numbers. 22.
They do. Oh yeah. So when you seek to convert valuable objects into coin, roll plus size of the village. It is a town, so roll plus nothing.
Yeah, great. And then, let's see. That probably won't work. I've got a 7, so no one wants to buy this cool helmet, even though I killed a troll. No, well, we floated a troll for that.
Yeah, what you so you maybe you try, I don't know, who do you try to sell it to?
It's that guy the mayor told us about. The goldsmith with
the clockmaker, but she unfortunately yesterday left to go back to Eelton. But she definitely left a message at Nadolny's tinctures and ointments that she's very interested in artifacts from the before time.
Okay, that's not probably what that helmet is. Or is it? I have no idea.
Well, it does look ancient. It does look ancient and weird, and stuff that's ancient and weird is normally from that time.
Okay. So we'll just find a place to hide the helmet because I don't think we will lug it with us. Oh, we can leave it with Batyabar. She can Batbayar. Yeah, she can watch over it, and then
from inside her bubble.
We can push it inside her bubble. So, and then I'll try to research this evil thief.
So describe what you're doing first, and then we look at the dice.
Yeah, I go around and try to round up the people that were at the party and ask them friendly at first if they want to tell me what they saw, and if I get the feeling that they're being shifty, I'll ask not so very friendly anymore.
Yeah, it's charisma, I would say.
Yeah, charisma again. Great.
Yeah, I mean, you could also look for clues. I don't know.
I've already failed my charisma roll. So do I get XP for failing rolls?
Yes, of course you do.
Yes. Cool. So that's nice.
So you would mark your charisma.
Oh,
so
cool.
On your character sheet next to charisma and next to the modifier, I made a small square, and you can write just 1.
I've written X, but I guess we can also write Bron. No, we can't because the file hates me. Okay. I think I've done.
So
That's an X again.
Let me think. Yeah, you've heard about, somebody told you about a hut in the Everslough to the east. It's just like 3 or 4 hours of travel, and they have heard that somebody found a lot of money, and they live there. It's like a like a hermit or something, and he was definitely at the party. So that's what you heard.
So it's hermit clobbering time. I go there.
And when you go there, there's smoke coming out of the chimney. The hut is very like derelict. It's I don't know. It's like driftwood or something put together. It's very very shoddy. But there's smoke coming out of the chimney. There's like fur that is spread over some kind of wooden construction to dry. So what do you do? But there's nobody. Yeah. You don't see anyone.
Yeah, I knock at the door or the door frame if there's no door, because I've got manners.
Yeah, there's like a horse croaking. No, not croaking. A horse. So yes.
Hello, are you the friendly hermit who was at the party some days ago in whatever the place is called, Goat's Bridge? And I will try to open the door and go into the hut because he's talking to me and that's impolite.
Yeah. So when you enter, the hut is really dark. There's a fire that has almost burned down. There's a pot of soup maybe on it. There's a bed in the corner, and somebody's lying in the bed with a back towards you.
Well, you know, somebody at this event stole all my money and I kind of want it back. And I think it was maybe you.
And he says, Rahel, is that you? Rahel, I'm so thirsty. Please.
Oh my God. Hello? Hello, I'm talking louder. I won't shout at the screen right now. Hello, it's not Rahel. I want my money back.
And he turns around like very, very slowly. And while he turns, there's like a cloud of some kind of spores emanating from the body. And you can see that his one side of his face is covered with some kind of sickness, some kind of like skin disease, and it almost looks like I don't know. There's maybe small mushrooms growing out of his shoulder and his the side
all Sarutu gods, I will not stay and look at the mushrooms and the spores. I will get out of this. Ah! No, damn. Probably my money is in there and now it's full of spores.
So that's a 6 months for you. And what is Dustin doing this whole week?
Depends. So it depends. The consultant answer. So Dustin, because one of his goals was maybe to inscribe one of Batbayar's spells into his book, but if she's still stuck in the bubble, then he probably can't do that.
Yeah, that is a good question. I think it was a convenient narrative tool for me to not say what Batbayar is doing, but obviously at some point the bubble will burst during this day, and I think it's probably like after a day or so. So I don't know what she would do, but I'm pretty sure she would let you transcribe one of her spells.
Right, and we'd actually talked about trading.
Yeah,
so.
Exactly.
So yeah, that's what he would do for this week. That was one of his ideas.
Which one do you pick?
What were the spells?
Look at under old PCs, and then it's Batbayar. She has Blessing of Dust and Chaleu's Demon of Anger.
Did we ever see what Blessing of Dust did?
Well, it does what you think it does. I think what makes sense.
Blessing of dust.
I mean, cool would be the demon of anger, because we already know what that is. But blessing of dust, what do you think? What would it do? Could dry things, obviously. It could obscure things.
Sure. Okay. Oh, that's interesting. So to obscure things. Blessing of dust.
You could use the dust as a kind of cloud to hide yourself, like a sandstorm, or like
tracks.
like mist or something like that.
I think I'll take. the blessing of dust just because it wasn't used. So that's the one I'll try to copy. I don't actually have to roll. It just happens, does it?
Yeah, you just invest the time.
Okay.
And I think, I mean, you do have your spell book. Do you have like ink and how?
No,
how do you?
I'll buy it, I guess.
Yes,
that's a good point. If I have to buy a quill and ink, sure, that's not a problem. Yeah, that'll be easy. So he'll like he'll be finishing each day, I imagine, covered in like ink stains and whatnot from trying to inscribe it into until he successfully gets it inscribed into his spell book.
Nice.
And always eating while he's doing this, of course, just because he's always got like bread next to him, and he's just like eating crumbs all over his
I mean, do you have your own like little corner of the barn, or do you sit outside at the table, next to a bowl of whatever they like goat?
I like the idea that he's sort of got a corner of the barn that is dedicated to him as like a regular paying customer or whatnot.
Yeah. I mean, after you spend there a week, Nandor as well has its own corner, and I mean, Hugo has his special place in the temple, obviously.
Right. I don't see anything that talks about how much ink or an ink and quill would cost or anything like that.
Yeah, so let's say 3 silver pieces.
Sure.
All right, and I think we are ready to venture into the wild. So let's see. You do know where it is. I mean, based on the map, you haven't been there, but you have a general idea.
One more thing before we leave. First one is a rough estimate of how much rations do we need, because it will be wise to take at least the bare minimum that we think we may require. And second one, well, a thief is a thief, and there's a temple to some lady of pain, and says, I hate them. I wouldn't mind stealing from them a healing potion if there happened to be one. Maybe, we do like a cat like who goes sneaking to the temple at night with these bandages and trying to like acquire some healing potion. Thief as a thief, and I really hate those ladies.
You definitely have to try. I mean, you could have. Yeah, well, let's do that. Like you sneak there at night after you have left, and you do know the place a little bit. You have spent there almost a week. So how do you try to get in? There's obviously the big oaken doors, but you do know that they close them at night. But you try to get in there. You do know that there is like a huge underground, not huge, but there's a big underground complex, and there's at the side there's like these like a trap door that is also closed that leads there. That's mainly used to store wine and stuff like that. And then you can theoretically smash like a window, one of these beautiful stained glass window that.
Yeah. So first of all, I would Hugo would ask others to go with him because I wouldn't like to be this to be solo scene because I don't know how long it will take. So I would definitely invite others to go with me, even to like stay on guard. And Hugo will say, "So I've noticed that they have some healing potions, and we are going out, so we might need. So it would be wise to acquire them. So why don't you just stay there, look around, make sure that no guard will find me, and I will work the magic of finding the potions."
You do know that there's a special place in hell for people who steal from nuns. Just saying.
Of course. So when we cut to this,
are you on with this like terrible sin, Idustin and Nandor?
Sure. I mean, nuns.
Of course. And yeah, okay. So the three of you in the night sneak towards the temple. There's nobody on the streets actually. It's the last day of the week. Next day is market day. I think it's not a full moon, so it's really dark. It's a clouded sky. It's perfect conditions. Exactly.
Yeah. So you ask how Hugo is about to get in there?
Yeah.
Well, I'm small and I'm acrobatic, so I would climb the wall.
Yeah.
Probably it's all. There are some of the bricks sticking out, so it should be possible for me to climb the wall. Then like a perfect cut, go on the wall and just descend to the room where I've noticed that there are hiding these healing potions.
Yeah, so let's say you climb on the roof, and there must be some kind of chimney or something. And as a halfling, that should be possible to climb down.
Oh, come on,
especially because you're acrobatic.
Yeah. Well, chimney must be super dirty, but healing potions. So yeah, I would just climb down. Nandor has our ropes. Maybe I would actually borrow the rope from Nandor for this one and just lower the rope to the chimney.
To get out in case they hear you.
Yeah.
So you sneak through the temple, and let's see if you sneak through the temple unhurt.
Cool. My move is
you move silently, I guess.
Yes, it is plus dex. It's a 10.
Oh wow! So let's abstract the whole thing. You sneak through the temple. There's like a chest where that they put I don't know what's it called? What do they burn always in incense. And candles, and also healing potions and bandages. And you do find D3 healing potions. So roll a D6.
Okay, I will reroll the one in the damage part. It kind of didn't reroll. At least it's again 5. So I'm not sure. Do you want me to reroll this again or not?
Yeah, just reroll just to make sure. I mean, a 5 is a 1 in 6 chance, so why not be? What is it?
Only 1.
Yeah, that's okay. You wanted 1, you got 1. And you get out alive without being found out, the thief that you are.
Yeah, I suppose after I walk out through the chimney and I'm all dirty, super dirty, I just hand it to Industin this perfectly nice bottle with a red liquid inside. Here, Dustin, you wanted to carry some healing potions for us?
And I think Dustin can he use a blessing of dust as his parlor trick and make the dust of the soot come off of?
Yeah, why not? Of course.
And maybe make it, I don't know if there's anybody nearby, like a guard or something like that, but make the dust like go from him and like go up onto the guard or something like that, so that the
Oh.
guard is actually leaving the trail of soot from the temple.
Well, well, there's not a like a town crier or something, but there are since yesterday there are 2 guards in front of the mayor's house that hasn't been that haven't been there before.
Hmm. Actually, why don't I use it if we can make a trail to the tax collector's house?
Awesome.
And that would be, I don't know if you want me to roll for that, but I think that would be sort of a fun use of the soot.
Yeah, I think that should be like a cantrip type of use. So I would suggest that we make a small break, like maybe 5 minutes again, and then finally we venture into the wild.
Before we do, I think
Yes.
Pavel had another question about how many rations we need. Is the 5?
Yeah, that is difficult to say. You haven't been there. I mean, the map that you see is scratched into the table, and there's no indication of, like, you would assume that it can't be more than a week.
What, you're saying the table doesn't have scale on it?
It doesn't have a scale.
It's
I'm
not.
sorry. Okay, see you in 5.
See you. Managing weight is a hard thing. There are so many things I would like to buy extra.
Yeah, well, if I manage to level up, I'll take one more strength, and then I'll be able to carry one more thing.
Oh.
What are you planning now? I'm scared.
Who? Hugo? What, the next plan?
Hugo and Dustin. I don't want to have anything to do with it.
But they all work. They all come off.
Yeah, you see.
Yeah,
Potions.
yeah, okay, that was nice.
Okay. So I think with the map that you have, like you can't take it with you, but you can obviously, I don't know, like either memorize it or maybe write it down somewhere.
I think somebody bought ink and a quill, so maybe.
Sure.
So I think it does trigger a slightly different move than the usual. It's take the well-beaten way. When you travel by a known or safe route, I would say it's a known route, even through dangerous territory. I tell you how long it takes to reach your destination, and it's 4 days. Let's see. Then roll plus nothing. So one of you would maybe Dustin, because he's more or less the one with the map.
Okay. Ouch. So you said you roll nothing? It's just a straight roll? That's a 3.
Yeah. It's a 3.
Do I get XP for that?
Doesn't say, strangely enough, but
it says do not mark XP on the move, actually.
Oh, it does.
It does, yes. And in my version, I don't know if it's the real one. But it says on a 6- do not mark XP, and the judge makes a move.
In our version, it says the judge makes a move.
Yeah, it just makes a move.
Oh, okay. So I have another version. That's very interesting.
I updated the folder. Now everything should be up to date. So yeah, I would say mark XP because I will make a move.
Okay.
So you have been traveling for 4 days, and the forest is getting denser and denser. It's almost like a magical place. Everything looks really vibrant. The plants, everything that you see is a little bit bigger, a little bit larger than life. The mushrooms are, the size of basketballs. There's a lot of exotic birds in the air, very colorful. There's like this gigantic farm, and at the end of the 3rd day, you have made camp. Maybe there's like a small clearing. And how does it how does your camp look like? Do you make fire? Is it like a cold camp? Do you sit together in the evening and talk a little bit, or is it like more you go directly to sleep and set your watches?
I've got a music box. And Nando isn't one to sit around quietly.
I was going to say, does that mean Nandor sings?
No, he's got a music box. It was something he got from somewhere. He hasn't told you yet where.
I
He's
think it's
carrying it around.
Is it the one that you like turn some handle and it plays some music?
I think
Yeah.
so. Yeah. Yeah.
So
Hurdy-gurdy.
there's like a tube inside with indentations of.
So it's this little hand organ thingy.
Yes, and it passes like metal things that make a very tinny sound. But the music box is actually really old, so it's also from the before time, something that you could sell. But anyways, so this slightly unnerving music. There's some of the metal things that make the music is definitely out of tune. And maybe there's the fire burning. I did ask you, have you made a fire, or is it like a cold camp?
We don't think anybody's following us, so why wouldn't we make a fire?
I don't know.
Yeah.
Not to offend the spirits of the forest, the druids or
What?
something.
I mean, I'm
So-
neutral, but I like to be warm. So
Obviously, yes. And
If we just take dead wood.
yeah. And it's getting colder. It's the beginning of the autumn, and maybe it had rained a little bit during the day. So you're sitting around the fire. The campfire's burning. The unnerving music of Nandor's music box is playing. When you hear a sound from the from the shadows. And please roll a 2d6. Let's see what it is.
who?
Whoever. It's a straight roll again.
Okay. So I roll before we wait.
Mm-hmm.
What do you get, Sabina?
7.
A 7.
7.
So, yeah, there's yeah. Well, you hear the the sound from the shadows. Somebody is like more than one person is approaching. What do you do?
I will stop making music and put the little thing away carefully. And then I'll go see where my shield and my sword is right now. Just so I know I'm not arming up, but, well, being prepared.
I will support you from the shadows. And we see like Kugel like grabs his bow and moves out of the range of the campfire.
Acted like a real thief.
Be careful.
Yes, very good. And Dustin?
I think Dustin will try and look into the shadows and see what's going. What does he see? He'll shield his eyes from the firelight so that he can see what is out there.
Yeah, you do see. It's really pitch black. There's definitely movement that you see. Something is spreading out. Like it's more than one entity. But it's really, you can't see any details.
Okay. Then I think he's going to get his arcane orb out and make ready to cast a spell.
All right. So at that moment, like in a half circle, 3 dwarfs enter the ring of light. They are armed with like 2 of them have crossbows and also weapons at their on their belt. I think like what's it called? Like blunt weapons. and the third one has a mace, and the one with the mace says, "So I think I need to ask for a toll. This is our part of the forest."
These aren't the dwarves who met in the mayor's office, obviously.
Well, it's not the very same, but they do have the same, they do have on their body somewhere, maybe they have like a belt or something with a symbol that you have seen with the dwarves at the mayor's office. It's like a crossed hammer and other tool.
Well,
Hammer,
well, I'll blow myself up a bit, puff up my chest, and then I say, well, that is unfortunate because we are very poor. We can offer you some hospitality, and I will play my music box for you.
So Hugo, you are hiding in the shadows, and you can feel the presence of two others that also in the shadows that keep in the dark. But you do, your eyes have adjusted to the darkness by that point, so you can make them out as like the shapes. What do you do?
Well, Hugo knows that Nandor is quite a good negotiator. He managed to get us out from under the Zarutu, so he would simply like stay there in the shadows. I'm not sure if it's let's use it because it's a move. I have something hide in shadows. When you are out of sight and remain still and quiet, spend 1 cunning, which I have 2. To go unnoticed until you act or until someone is right on top of you.
Mm-hmm. That makes sense. To stay hidden.
Yeah, so I think I would just maybe quietly climb like a branch on the nearest tree or something, but I'm just making sure that the 2 dwarves won't see me, so that maybe we will have some kind of surprise on them.
Yeah, well, it does say you remain quiet and still. So I think if you would climb, that would be like a defy danger or something. If you want to be unnoticed, you would have to stay where you are and not move.
Okay, it's fine. I'm just really hugging the tree or hiding behind that. So I probably have a tree behind me and them, and that's enough cover for small halfling.
And Idustin, do we also wait for the negotiating tactics of Nandor to kick in?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
All right. So the one with the mace chuckles and says, "Poor, you say? Interesting. Didn't you just throw a party a couple of days ago?" And
that's exactly the reason why I'm poor. Somebody took my money at that party. I was totally drunk. I got stolen from. And then I found the guy and he was sick with some spores from mushrooms. Yeah. That's my story of my life, actually.
that is I mean, I'm convinced. Let's see if the dwarves are convinced. Let's negotiate.
I'm negotiating. Right now I'm negotiating with charisma, I guess, because I'm not even deceiving them. I'm still pissed. I'm still pissed about being stolen from, and I got an 11.
Nice. So the one with the mace actually starts laughing. That's really bad luck. Well,
yeah.
What are you up to then? And he shouts into the darkness, and he says, he names 2 of the 2 dwarven names. Let's say Dirin and Belia, come out. I think these are just like poor adventurers with a stroke of bad luck. and he produces like a small keg and says, "Well, even if you don't have money, there's always booze." And he sits down. Is Dustin still holding the magic orb?
Does it look like he needs to?
It doesn't. The atmosphere completely relaxes. The two guys emerge from the shadows. They open a keg of beer, and the guy with the mace introduces himself as Hanar, and he says, "So, what are you doing in the forest?"
Oh, well, we're traveling north. Maybe you have heard of the king in the north who is looking for fighters. If you haven't, well, it's not very widely known, but there are things brewing, you know, with these lizard people in the Near Sea, and then this king in the north trying to reclaim his ancient heritage. Yeah, that song you just heard, no, that actually is the hymn of the north. It was thousands of years old.
That sounds like a lot of baloney. I mean,
yeah.
So
that's what it's supposed to sound like. Because nobody will believe it. It's the lizard people. They are twisting your head around with their tales that there is no king in the north and that there was never a northern kingdom. But it's not true.
You're traveling to the old pass. That's like, I don't know, like 2 weeks travel. Do you have enough food?
No, we can hunt.
Well, and the keg of beers is doing the circle. What is Hugo still hiding in the shadows?
No, I see Hugo will actually take a piss and just make it all look like he was just taking some time alone, and then just like return, and like try to like join the party like if he was there, just like jump on the bench and just like after a moment like join the party. And
so when you approach the campfire, they do reach for their weapons, but relax when Dustin and Nandor stay calm.
Yeah, I tell them that's our hunter.
Oh, I was just taking some time alone. A man has to take a pee in the forest sometimes.
So Hana, the one with the mace, says, "Well, if you're traveling north, you should keep an eye out for. You should probably make like a detour around Darkmoor. That place is infected."
Is that also something with spores and mushrooms?
Yeah, these people are infected. They turn into this weird fungoid zombies, and like half of the village is already turned, and the rest is not allowed to leave.
Not allowed by whom?
Well, by us.
Oh,
we don't
okay.
want them to spread that horrible disease.
Yeah,
it does spread, I heard.
That's quite the community service. I commend you, sir. I commend you.
Well, we're also rebuilding the rat and the monkey. Can't take I hope we are ready before winter falls.
Yeah, that's good news.
And so then after the keg made its round, he removes the foam from his beard and he says, "Well, we need to get going. And also, you should really be careful with the goat men. These are vicious monsters." And then he leaves.
Thank you for all of your good advice.
Okay, so the rest of the night passes uneventful. Do you want to talk about anything or move on?
Do we actually know anything about these goldmen? They're supposed to be where we are going, right?
Well, you could have researched them.
Yeah, I'm asking these two guys because the one was in the temple and the other one is a mage. I'm just a fighter. I'm just supposed to carry the heavy stuff.
Well, you can. I mean, it's not completely out of the range of possibilities that you have heard about these goldmen. So why don't you establish a fact about the world, which is
Ooh.
Know something.
know something.
Ooh.
Probably plus intelligence, I would assume.
Yep. It is.
Oh, so Sabine, were you going to do that? Sorry, Nandor.
No, he looks at you.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I
Knowing,
think actually
knowing
it
stuff
doesn't-
isn't his thing.
It Dustin or Hugo would be. I mean, Hugo spent the whole week in the church, but I mean, you could have heard it like before or after.
Well,
Goatman, those are like beyond my scope. I'm like, you know me, I'm really focused on some nice treasure chests, some wealthy merchants. Goatman, like, what the heck?
sure.
Well, they're made of
after-
gold.
Is it? It's goatmen or goldmen?
Goat.
Oh, gold. See, yeah, that's good news. I mean, kind of goatmen.
Yeah,
Oh, okay.
sure. Dustin might have heard something while he was doing his inscribing in the barn all the time.
Yeah.
People going in and out. So sure, why not? Or he might have heard something before. So how does this work? Do I make it up first, or do I just roll to see what happens?
Let's see. Say how you come to know about the subject, which is you overheard it in the barn, and then you roll, and then I will answer any question about the subject.
Okay. Boom. That's a 12.
Wow. So just shoot a question.
Let's see. Any questions you have about the subject within reason? Any questions? Right. So that's interesting.
Yeah. You can use the. Oh no, it's in Dungeon World. It's about law, so there's no really questions. But you could use, for example, the discern realities question maybe as a basis or something.
Sure. So who's really in control of the goatmen?
The goatmen are controlled by greed. Nothing can control the goatmen. They are a force of nature. They are anarchists, I would say, in the bad sense of the word. Not that they live in a commune and acquire total freedom. It's more like they want to spread chaos and destruction. And they are controlled by greed. And no, they are not called goatmen. They're goatmen because they have goat heads.
I figured. What should we be on the lookout for?
So these people are really vicious. They are known for like kidnapping people and torturing them, and then selling them back to their family. And because they're like they are hunted more or less by rich merchants from Eelton mainly, whose children or relatives they have kidnapped. They did have not fortified their area, the area that they controlled, but they're definitely monitoring the situation. They've definitely laid traps around the barrow mounds. And apparently, a rumor that you've heard that they are in bed with some demonic forces.
So I guess as I add some flair to this, as I'm telling everybody what I heard and what Dustin knows, he'll cast a blessing of the dust and make the ashes of the fire sort of depict the stories as these, the goat men kidnapping people and holding them ransom and beating them and being in cahoots with demons and stuff like that. So he's playing with the new spell, trying to learn the limits of it.
This is super awesome. Like I imagine that's like this Chinese shadow theater or something, that the dust figures, like very I don't know. It's not a realistic depiction of what's happening. It's obviously metaphorical more. Yeah, cool.
Oh no! If we got captured, who will pay the ransom for us? Malbayar is like left broken without any coin. Like we can't get captured.
Yeah, but they kind of sound like people that we might speak our language, kind of. Yeah, we can't be ransomed, okay, but we might have some other qualities. So if nothing else, Dustin and me with the music and him with the dust thing, we can put on some shows. You could tumble a bit. No, and we won't do that. We just should avoid these guys.
Yeah, I like your line of thinking, Nandor. Very good.
Yeah. Or if nothing else helps, we can maybe goad them into robbing the Zarutu temple with us.
Goat the Goatman. That's an interesting idea.
Yeah.
I hate puns, but that was a good one.
Well, it wasn't even intended as a pun. Well, I mean, I would prefer if we just looted that temple by ourselves, but as a bargaining point might come in handy.
Okay, anything else you discuss in the evening? Okay, so maybe we see you like the next day after a couple of hours of traveling carefully through the forest. You reach like a hill from where you can actually see the camp of the goatmen. So we see you like maybe crouching next to each other, looking down on a large clearing. You're pretty near the mesa. There's like this gigantic red mesa sticking out of the canopy of the forest. And in the shadow of the mesa, there's this large clearing. There are a couple of barrow mounds. There's on the south side of the clearing, there is a like a corral, maybe, is that a word? Like fenced in, and there's a very sad looking a donkey with a like a rope around his neck. There's 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 barrow mounds, and from where you can, from where you are, you can also see that there are 3 paths into the forest. One leading to the north, one leading to the west, and one leading south to probably Gold Bridge. In the middle, there's also next to the corral where the donkey is, there are kennels, like very shoddy wooden constructions, probably for something like dogs or wolves or something. Like in the middle of this randomly distributed barrow mounds, there is a stick figure or like something made out of mud and clay and horns, kennels, Kennels.
I'm aware, but I just heard camels, and I'm
No.
wondering until you said wooden structures, and then I got it.
It's not wooden camels; it's wooden camels. And this this statue maybe looks pretty mean. I don't know. It just gives a bad vibe. You do see that before 3 of the barrow mounts, the ones. So the hill that you're on is in the east, and there are guards in front of 3 of the barrow mounts. And you can see at least 1 barrow mount, and all of these mounts have like entrances, either wooden doors or just open, like cave entrances. But one of them has like a stone slab barring the entrance, and one of them has a stone slab barring the entrance that is half. That's a little bit crumbled. So that's what you see. What do you do?
Well, we're looking for unopened barrow mounts, right?
Yes.
Yes.
There's one to the northeast.
Mm-hmm.
One with the, is that the one with the stone door?
Yeah, there's one. Yes, there's a like a stone door, stone slab to the north and to the northeast, and there's one with a like it seems to be like it's cracked and parts of the slab is missing to the southeast.
So a question, because you also mentioned that we see guards in front of 3 barrow mounts.
Yes.
And there is also a goatman camp.
Yeah, the guards are goatmen. Like the guards, so, like I call them guards. They're like they're goatmen
standing
moving
guard
between the barrow mounts as well. So you see.
We see.
Really look sinister. They have, as I said, the heads of goats and also the legs of goats. Like at least 2 of the ones you see have they're carrying like you know what guns are. They carry guns. So it's like elongated tubes. They have like a what's it called? Like Sabine, what is Lunte auf English?
Ich stehe auf dem Schlauch. Sorry.
They have this like a piece of rope that they have to ignite. So it's not an immediate thing. And if it's raining, it doesn't work. But if it works,
it's fuse.
I think it's called flintlock.
Yeah, it's a flintlock. It's like a it's even like more ancient than a flintlock gun. But if it actually works, it does punch big holes into people and things.
Well, we were not told that the goatmen have a camp over here. So, and there are quite a lot of them. So I think our safest approach would be to take that one that is farthest from them and is unopened. Maybe if we work quietly, maybe we can avoid their gaze. Or what do you think? Or should we do some distraction and make them run into the wood?
I have an idea, because, you know, these barrows, they're always supposed to be haunted by ghosts of the old kings that lie around them. And I've seen Edastin play around with this dust thing. So maybe we can kind of make them believe that there is a ghost of an ancient king haunting them. So they might, I don't know, go away or at least be distracted. So maybe you and Edastin can pretend to be some old king haunting the whole thing, while I try to push the stone slab to the side by pushing very hard. If I think that's possible. If I don't think that's possible, I wouldn't suggest it.
I like your idea, but why don't we leave that as a backup plan? And he rolls up his sleeves and he says, and he makes the fingers gesture and says, "You know, I can make that stone light."
Okay, so we push the stone out of the way, and then we pretend that's, and then if they see us?
Well, maybe we do it at night.
Yeah, but you know, I'm not that great at sneaking around. I mean, that's Hugo.
Yeah,
So
but
maybe we'll change places. You and Hugo go after the door because it is light enough. I think Hugo can push it aside, and I'll provide some distraction with my trusty music box that makes unholy noises at night.
yeah, but
Yeah, it leaves something to be desired. I'm not really a wizard. Sorry.
Lando, I think we need you near us, though. I think we're risking it. We can always go to your other plan if they see us.
Okay, cool. So maybe we'll have some dust covering over us so that you can move it around and make us look like Barrow Kings if we're spotted.
Oh, do we want me to try and kick up a dust storm?
Yeah, if you can kick up a kind of dust storm that blows all those goatmen away, sure, but
to get from where we are to the burrow, we just need like a dust storm for like 2 or 3 minutes. If you can obscure their visibility, it will be much easier for all of us to get there.
I like that. I don't have to sneak. Everything where I don't have to sneak is good.
I mean, you can definitely conjure a dust storm.
I don't know if I have power for it, though.
The question is, how big is the area that you want to cover? And if there's like a small dust storm moving from the edge of the forest towards a barrow mound, I mean, the goatmen are not super bright, but they're also not like super stupid.
So maybe we can try to get there another way, and then when we're close, you can just cause the dust storm as a distraction, make them look another way so we can play around.
Well, if it's on the north, the one we want to get in is on the northwest, so we can probably go around their camp and come in from the northwest so they don't see us.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, I probably described it wrongly. So there are 2 barrow mounds that are like sealed, I would call it. And they are both actually closer to the hill. So they're both in the west. There's one in the northwest and one in the southwest. The northwest one is like sealed shut, and the southwest one has a slightly crumbled stone.
And where is the goatman camp?
Sorry, is this a question for me?
And where is the goatman camp?
Oh, that is the goatman camp. Like the goatman camp all over the place.
Oh, okay.
So it's in the middle of the goatman camp. It's not at the border. That's not so good.
Well, I mean, there's this effigy in the middle of the clearing, and like the barrow mounds to the west, they all have like people moving in and out of them, and they have these, and 3 of them have guards.
Okay, so maybe we can do something with this effigy thing. But it's probably holy, and if we mess around with it, then it might strike us down, which would not be so great. But on the other hand, you 2 guys, you don't like organized religions, so that might be something more up to your alley. Maybe you can set it on fire.
Well, unfortunately, we dumped the oil lamp, which we could easily light something on fire, so we no longer have it. So,
damn. Okay,
well,
so no setting things on fire.
Well, seems like we have to wait till the evening and then just use darkness as our approach, and use darkness to hide our approach.
Can you make us look like goatmen, Justin? I mean, maybe not to completely pass, but at a first glance when we were walking through.
But Bayar was the sorcerer. She would have been the one that would have spells for that.
Why didn't we take her? Oh, because of the bottle thing, and she was angry.
And I think she was a little disturbed from the demon.
Oh. Yeah, that was creepy.
I think there was a bad connection there. Did we really want to trust her until she's fully recovered?
Wait,
I like the idea of using the cover of darkness, and maybe I can use the dust to muffle our steps so that we're not heard.
Okay.
Maybe we are missing something. Let's take another good look. Maybe there is a path. Maybe there is some better path to reach this barrow mount. So, like, Hugo will stand straight with his hat, with his fur, and just look like what is the best approach from where we are to the barrow mount, so that they don't see us.
Make a saving throw to not be seen. And that is a saving throw with, I want to say, dexterity, and take -1 for the feather.
Or luck, maybe?
Oh yeah, that is a good idea. Like, if somebody by chance is looking in the direction.
Luck, yeah, let's go with it. It's an 8.
Let's see. Let's say. Okay, so you have been seen, but you can. Let's see. No, it's a success. So you have not been seen. I want to say. Let me think. Does anyone have a good, ugly choice or worst outcome?
Well, if you wanna resolve it as us getting into the burrow, or just me not being spotted, maybe, well, one of us will be spotted on our way to the burrow or something like this. Depends what piece of fiction you want to resolve over here.
No, the point is, I think, of the saving throw was whether you were seen when you were just standing up there, and
exactly.
Maybe what you see is that there's a patrol coming our way.
Yeah.
Or 2, and we have to.
Yeah, I like that.
So you definitely have not been seen because it was a success. Yeah. So what you see is that at the kennels, a guard, like a goatman, is opening the door and like releasing the dogs, and they are like mean looking, mingy, like, what's it called? If they have probably some kind of disease or something. They have froth around their mouth, and they stand there and sniff the air. What do you do? Yeah, rabbit dogs.
Not good. They have rabbit dogs too, which can sniff us out. So definitely we need to mask our approach from not only from the sight but also from the smell.
Great. Well, I worked with a ranger once, and I will say this where we are going. And they had some salve that we put on each other, and so we could sneak past some dogmen in the forest. But I have no idea what that salve was made of. Well, I think it was some sort of garlic.
I think you know something. Let's roll. What do you know?
Cool. I know nothing. Oh, I know things. I have a 10.
So you do know that there are certain smells that can camouflage your natural body odor, but you would have to find them in the woods. You have to look for the ingredients as you don't have them on you.
Yeah, so we would have to search for some garlic or something like that. Some strong
You did
smell.
say that you want to leave the hill.
Wait.
Okay, so let's do a little bit of distraction as well. So you go search for the smells, and I will go hunt some rabbits or maybe a small deer and make something looking like a camp somewhere in the forest, so that the dogs will smell the nice smell of preparing a meal, and maybe the goatman will like go investigate it after the dogs, and we will use your disguise of the smell to get in.
So you leave the hill. In what direction?
In the direction that goes rather straight away from the goatman.
So straight away would be straight east. And you're looking for I think that Hugo is probably hunting for like rabbits or something.
Yeah.
And Nando is looking for herbs or like garlic or something. So that would be forage.
Oh wow, there's a move for this, yes?
Forage is, I think, last time I checked.
Yeah, I also think that I've seen it.
Yeah, there is a move called forage. It's on page 13, and I have to roll with wisdom to get rations.
Yeah.
Great.
But the trigger is when you spend a day seeking for food in the wilds.
Yeah, so you would have to spend the rest of the day until nightfall, but your plan was to enter the camp at nightfall anyways.
Yeah. Okay.
Okay. Yeah, sounds good.
So you want both of us to roll forage?
Yeah, for different things.
Cool.
Okay.
Hugo has a 9.
Cool. Yeah, Nandor has a 6.
Ooh, that's
I get
not
an XP.
good.
I get an
So,
XP.
And you
I
mark
guess the question is, was
wisdom.
Dustin helping?
Yeah.
Because I imagine, I don't think Dustin would have stayed there because the dogs were coming after him. So I would only hinder Hugo, but I think I could help Nando if you identified what plants we were looking for. Then I would help you look for them.
Oh, that would be cool. Then we would have a 7, and I wouldn't get an XP, but we would get maybe some garlic. That's kind of nice. Yeah, you can recognize garlic pretty easily by its smell.
But you also have to deal with the danger, or discovery, I guess. So let's get a yes.
I was going to ask, do I mark bonds with that, and what does that mean?
It means that oh, actually, you could bonds means that if you get a +2 with someone, you do apply +2 to the roll.
Ooh.
But it's still an 8, so it doesn't really change anything. But your bonds, your ties deepen.
Oh, so does that mean it goes to a +3 for the next one?
Yeah, that's the maximum, and then it is probably like in Apocalypse World, where after that it resets.
Well, I'm not sure if this is so. It means that then you may mark bond to have that person to have with that person to increase or decrease the modifier further 1 to 1. So what does it mean mark a bond? So do we expand a bond? That would actually make sense. So you help or interfere with +1 or -1, and then we can spend this currency that we accumulate to give like one-time bigger bonus.
It really does. Yeah, it's like a whole. That makes sense. That's a good idea. So let's get a D12 from Hugo.
I'm going to reroll the one in the red. A 5.
And 2d6 from Nandor.
It's another 6.
6. So, Hugo, I think you move alone. I assume that you try to sneak probably because you're hunting.
Definitely. I'm not a good hunter, so I'm like mostly like hoping for luck to find some rabbits because.
Yeah. And you do you do find like I don't know, what's the collective noun for rabbits? A flock. Not a flock. A group, family of rabbits. And you can catch 3 of them. And while you go back to find Nandor and Idustin, you stumble upon it's a sphere lying in the forest.
It's a what?
A sphere, and it's like perfectly round, the curved top of a perfectly round thing.
Okay.
Around about the like maybe 1.20 meters or something. It's covered with lichen, is that the word? And like algae or something, and there's also rust in between. So there's the sphere seems to be like metal, some kind of iron probably, and is also covered by plants.
Wow. So we see like Hugo going with like a stick on which he has like a 3 rabbits to start cooking them over fire, and then he sees this. Well, he wouldn't be himself if he wouldn't like come close, like inspect it, maybe like touch it with the tip of his brand new dagger to see. I mean, if it's like safe, maybe he would like try to listen to it.
Yeah. Make a perceive roll, please. So you're trying to find out what this thing is.
Of course. It's also a 9.
And a 9 on a perceive is
1 question, I believe.
1 question.
Yeah, so basically, like, what is it?
What is it? So you lay your ear on top of this rusty thing. Let's see. You do hear it's something that is wound up that is unwinding slowly. There's like a every couple of seconds there's a tick, like.
I think he would spend not super long, but like a little bit of time trying to maybe like dig around it, but he doesn't have like a shovel, so
You can use your knife. I think that the ground is actually quite soft. You can also remove the lichen to to see the like what's it called? Like remove the earth around it, remove the clear it a bit, clean it a little bit.
Yeah, that's my intention.
So it is, as I said, it is this big. It is rusted iron. It does have strange symbols on them, and it does have like a little bit like a football, this octagonal shapes. And I'm not sure if you like the symbols themselves look definitely ancient.
Well, Hugo thinks to himself, can he like pick it up, or is it like super heavy?
I mean, you can definitely pick it, just barely pick it up. It has 6 weight, but you would be encumbered when you try to really like take it back.
Well, that's heavy. Can't take it. Well, nice discovery, but I hope I will find something more useful in the burrow mouths. So
and Nandor, you and I think Idustin points out to you, the garlic. It's like wild garlic. It's really small, and it grows on the ground. What do you do?
Yeah, well, if he points it out, I'll pick it, and then I
go there and you pick it. You do realize that you are in almost a perfect circle of mushrooms growing. And I think Dustin is just outside of the circle. And you are.
I will run. I jump out of the circle. I'm afraid of mushrooms. After this guy in the hut, I'll just get out of the circle. I'm afraid that they will burst out in spores. So I will get out and hide behind a tree. And if nothing happens, I will think of a convincing one.
You jump outside of the circle, hide behind a tree. And Dustin, you see that when Nando jumps out of the circle, her skin, like the skin that you can see, is has this vibrant green color.
As in, it's coated with something? Is that the idea?
No, it's the skin changed color from whatever color it was before to like almost neon green.
No.
Okay. I think Dustin looks at Nando and says, "Are you feeling okay?"
Did something get? Oh, my what? Why? I'm green.
Yes, you are.
Is that magic, or is that a sickness? It's magic, right? Please say it's magic.
I didn't do it.
I didn't think so. What is that? Why am I green? Green doesn't fit my eye color. I mean, come on. That's terrible. Is my beard green?
No, it's just the skin.
Oh.
But it looks healthy, right? It doesn't look like...
It doesn't look like a sickness. It looks just weird.
Maybe you've just been marked. You were in a fairy circle.
Oh,
You
that
might
what it
have
was.
trespassed.
I hear these fairies have pretty beautiful queens.
Is this the same forest where we'd heard that there was a queen?
Yeah, definitely.
Oh,
This is
okay.
Kyrgyz forest. And the queen Eshar Enu is the reign of the queen of the forest.
Well, I think you got yourself another quest.
Yay.
As long as you don't feel anything, I think you're okay.
And by that time, sorry to interrupt.
I feel a bit weirded out because I'm green. I mean, come on. I'm not scared or anything, but it's just a bit weird.
So Hugo, by that time you return, you reunite with your companions, and you do see that Nandor is like violently green.
Nandor, what happened to you? Have you already put on the masking, the smell masking, something? If it does make yours, if it will make my screen green, then I think I will pass on this.
It couldn't make it any worse than with your burns, really, but okay. No, apparently I trespassed in a fairy circle, and now I'm green.
Are you becoming an orc?
I don't know. Do I sound like an orc?
No, but show me your teeth. Do you have like a big tusks?
I'll show him my teeth.
No, not yet.
Good.
I don't know. Maybe the change will take some time, but I will be keeping an eye on you.
Yes, please tell me when I'm becoming an orc. I think I have to make some modifications to my clothes then.
Okay, so guys, we have half an hour to go, and it's
Hello?
Horst, I think you froze.
Yeah.
the session at the.
I'm frozen.
Horst, can you please repeat? We lost you.
Yes, so.
We have half an hour and
I would like to maybe do the whole end of session thing, which would also mean that you would have to return to Goldbridge, because that's the meta thing that we agree upon, so that if next time somebody joins us, they can rediscuss what to do. So for example, let's say I don't want to start near the Barrow Mount, because maybe you decide next time, let's do something completely different. Is that agreeable for everyone?
so
Yeah, I won't be with you next Saturday, so because I'm somewhere else. So maybe Nandor might stay in the forest and try to find out why he's green, and maybe drum up some fairy assistance, because he doesn't want to go home while he's totally green. I mean, what if the Saruto girl sees him like that? No, I can't do that.
So maybe the reason why you go back is to cure the green skin color or something. Is that okay, Pavel?
well, we got all the way here. I really wanted to rob this.
I know.
But, well,
next time we can, like, it's just one roll away from being there. If you at the beginning of the session say, let's go there,
we could give it a more fictional reasoning that maybe we return and we realize that there is, I don't know, some Goatman festival, and there is like, I don't know, 100 of them dancing around this big something, and we decided no, too dangerous. Let's go back.
Well, funny you
Yeah.
would mention that. When you at night like get closer to the barrow mounds, this is actually exactly what you hear. So there are drums.
Mhm.
Once in a while, you hear like a horn being blown. That sounds pretty terrifying. You actually hear once in a while gunshots and the drunk singing of the goatmen. And if you get a glimpse of what's happening, they are dancing around the effigy, and there's somebody, a person slaughtered, and the blood from that person is poured over the effigy, and maybe that frightens you enough to leave the place. I don't know.
Yeah, definitely. We were here to just rob some abandoned barrow mound.
Yeah, and maybe this is someone remembers that this is a week-long celebration, and then we decide to go back and maybe find some goat masks or something, and be a bit better prepared for entering a goat.
Yeah,
camp.
research. You can build something. You can build masks, maybe. Maybe you buy goats and construct masks with the material. Cool. So
Yes.
what do you do with the sphere? You don't take it with you, Hugo.
Maybe we do take it with us if we're going back to the city.
Well, if we have a moment and I can find my way back to it, I will definitely show it to Dustin to decide if it's worth taking it or not.
You could also theoretically mark the position on your map, but you can also, Dustin, take a closer look at it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, sure. We can take a look at it, because Dustin could always make it lighter so that we could carry it.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, but being encumbered, what does that actually mean?
You get
rules. Yeah.
you get
-1
on
to
all rolls.
everything. Yeah, well, I think I can drag it then. I mean, I'm encumbered, but not so really badly if I drag it, if I carry it.
The symbols on this object are really ancient, and I mean it's probably your jam, reading old tomes and books. So there is definitely a good reason why you would know these symbols. But let's see if you do.
So you want me to roll with intelligence?
Yes, please.
Okay, or I should say with int. And that's a 10.
Oh wow! So you can ask any question, I think.
So what does this thing do?
So the symbols are all warning symbols, like spread over the whole sphere. There's the warning to not disturb it. It's the warning to not drop it. And there's definitely a symbol that says like massive destruction. What do you do?
Okay.
You get the vibe that like transporting is not a thing to joke about. Like,
yeah.
Okay. So,
well, I do have an idea. I was just thinking, are we uphill from the goat camp?
I mean, when you're on the hill, like on this hill, you can definitely let it roll.
you can make it lighter, and then we can throw it, toss it in the middle of the goatman's camp. Do you know how to detonate this?
Just for the sake of time, you could possibly do it the next time. I mean, now you know where it is. You could think about taking it or leaving it there.
We leave it there.
Yeah, I think actually we better. I think we should leave this. This might be more than, it might destroy more than just the goat camp. Maybe we even need to hide it.
Yeah, the goat guys shouldn't find it, so we should bury it a bit deeper, or put something on it.
Awesome. I'm looking forward to next session.
Oh man.
Before we make the end of session move, shall we have like 2 minutes, a 2 minutes break, a bio
Yeah.
break?
Sure.
Yeah, sure.
Thanks.
Cool. Hello.
Yes, hello. So let's get straight to it. You return, Victoria. Yeah, well, you return to the town, and let's go over the questions. If you fulfill your alignment goal at least once, mark XP.
Not really.
Yeah,
No?
I think Hugo might have when he stole the healing potion.
Yeah. Maybe.
Yeah, but that's not that's not my alignment.
Oh, it's not to sow chaos or destroy a symbol?
Well, stealing a potion wasn't sowing chaos or destroying anything. It was a thief-related question to steal something, but not
It's
alignment. So discard, destroy symbol, didn't
Yeah,
destroy anything.
I guess we didn't do it this time. I guess we
No.
didn't do any chaos.
Okay, if you
No.
fulfill at least one trait in a memorable way, gluttonous comes to mind. Deceitful, you lied several times. Definitely Lady,
Oh, yeah.
what's her name? Millennial in her face. Unless
Oh,
you
yes.
want to atone, but it doesn't look like it.
No, I think I want the XP. And I was deceitful.
And Pavel?
I think Hugo was quite ruthless with the Zarutu and with the temple, because they healed him and then he stole from them. So
especially with the temple, I would give you 2, but it's just 1 allowed. If you're a fighter, mark XP if you defeated a foe in battle. We haven't had a battle, I think.
We never have a battle because battles are bad, and I try to avoid them wherever I can. I guess I should get XP for avoiding battles.
Well, it says defeated a foe in battle, right?
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, I guess we didn't get into a battle then, unless the fact that Nandor negotiated his way out of the battle counts as defeating, because it looked like we were in a battle. I mean, I cast a spell to unhorse one of them, and Hugo killed that one, and Nandor managed to negotiate peace. Is that defeating them? Or no? Or is that...
I wouldn't say no. I mean, I see your frustrations, Abina, that you say,
No,
well,
it's okay. It's okay.
Why can't I kill someone in battle or defeat? I mean, you don't have to kill them. You can just, defeat them and then say, well, I'll let you go or something. But it just didn't happen.
No, that didn't happen.
The lack of HP tells you to pick your fights very carefully.
Yeah.
You shouldn't be punished for that, but that's how it works.
Yeah, well, it's okay. I mean, the most things I'm doing is with rolling for charisma, which I'm not really good at, and carrying stuff. So that's okay. I'm really fine with that.
If you're a thief, mark XP. If you acquired something by stealth or trickery, which is the case, and if you're a magic user, mark XP. If you solve the problem with magic, which is also the case, I'm gonna say.
Yeah, but things are.
Yeah, you saved, but through magic.
The sorceress. The sorceress.
Yeah. No, I solved the problem with magic. Yeah, definitely.
And then, as a group, did we make an exciting discovery?
Yeah.
We found a bomb of world destruction.
Yes. That was really exciting.
Did we overcome a difficult obstacle? So that is not like fighting necessarily.
No, but we overcame both the Sarutu and the dwarves. So.
Also with diplomacy.
Yeah, well.
And did we acquire some memorable booty?
Hugo got the dice.
Yeah, the dice. The
helmet.
The helmet?
And potentially the bomb, which know the position, the location of at least. So that is 3 out of 3. That's not too shabby.
3 out of 3. Cool.
Question: on the new character sheet, when you get to 10, you level up.
Yeah, it's new. It's 5 plus level times 5. So 5 plus 1 times 5 is 10.
So I think we both level up, Crystal.
Yeah.
I think we all did, actually.
Yeah. Well, with 13 XP, I'm leveling up.
Yeah, it was 15 in the first edition, or like in the last place, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I like 10 better.
So that means that it's even. There's something. It's something when it's odd. Let's see.
Do I get hit points?
And you get 1 characteristic, I think.
Nice.
Goes up.
Well, marks to 2 different abilities means I think it's just the dots.
Yeah, the let's see.
Where's the level up? There it is. Increase your level by 1. Regain 1 point.
What page is that?
If
what page is that?
It's
in basic moves. In basic moves.
Ah, okay. Basic moves, map the world, marketplace.
Mark 2 different abilities of your choice, excluding luck. Yeah, okay.
So nobody burned a point of luck, I think. If you
I did at the beginning to get more hit points.
Oh, cool.
I burned a point of luck there.
If your new level is even, mark 2 different abilities of your choice, excluding luck. Increase maximum hit points by 1 roll of your hit die plus your Constitution modifier, and that is it.
So I'm going to roll the d6 in damage to see how much hit points I get.
Yeah.
It's another 4. Not too bad.
Now
Yeah,
you have
let's see what I roll. I don't roll a d12. Oh, come on. It's an 8. I've got an 8.
Wow, you're officially the tank now.
Yes. Yes, now I can go and fight something.
I got a 3, which I get a +1 from con, so I got to add 4 hit points.
For a wizard, that is amazing.
I know.
Do I get the con bonus again?
Yeah.
That's what it
Yes.
says.
Each level?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's
Yes.
8
Each level.
+1.
Nice. So we're at 13. Yeah. And what does that mark 2 abilities? What does that mean?
So next to the ability, there are like 5 bubbles, I think. And if you mark all of them, the 5th one gives you increases the stat by 1.
I get it. I will mark charisma because I'm using it all the time. Also, I think I will mark dexterity because that's the most useful when it goes up.
Yeah, true.
And my bird wisdom heals, right?
Well, all the healing stuff is then after a week, I think.
Oh, okay. Cool.
Nice.
Cool. Yay.
So a little bit of feedback at the end. Pavel, you said that you're not like used to, like on the one hand, the old school way of doing things and hex crawls. Did you enjoy it a bit more? Is it like, do you get used to it, or is it still like super weird and awkward?
It is still super weird because yeah, all those rumors. It's hard to decide what do you want to do and so on. And I didn't want that to burn anything down today because I did it last time. I feel really lack of direction for myself over here.
Yeah, there's no direction. That's true. But you played Skyrim. I mean, what did you do when you played Skyrim? You had to pick like a thing to do. Nobody told you to, I don't know, join the Thieves Guild or something.
Yeah, it becomes more about not completing something, but more about how do you
act, but then we are having 3 players, and if you had 4 and everyone would like to like have his like playbook trigger and then his alignment trigger and those things, in Skyrim I'm alone, so I do what I want. Here I have to decide with 4 other players what we want to do, and if everyone goes to fulfill his alignment and his playbook experience trigger, we might spend there, like today, we spent 2 hours on like rest and having fun, and then we didn't have time. We have to like pull out from the adventure before we get the loot. So,
yeah, that's definitely the disadvantage that we ended last time, not at the town, because it's much easier to say, okay, you're at town. What do you do? Which direction do you pick? So it's not 2 hours in town, but hopefully just next time 10 minutes, and then you can say, well, let's get back to the Barrow Mounds. But yeah, I would agree. So Pavel is not sold. Christo.
Oh, I'm fine because I love having the spells that you basically can interpret as you want. You're constrained by the words, but you can finagle it to have a lot of fun with the spells. So I like that a lot. Yeah, so when I managed to get another spell, and now that I've leveled up, I can actually have 3 spells in my head at the same time. So this works out well.
Yeah, the magic system is really, really cool. one of the spells.
Oh, and that means like my power goes up another level. Yeah.
Yeah. You can now cast more.
Yeah, and like a bigger scope of magic.
Yeah, exactly.
Sabina, it was your last time. Did you enjoy the 2 sessions?
Sure, I did. Yeah, I tried to get into this game. I wouldn't have if I hadn't enjoyed it, and I kind of got used to it, and I kind of like it actually. This whole thing where there is no story that is supposed to develop, because when we can just have fun and run around and find a bomb in the wood and talk to dwarves, I kind of like that. I mean, I wouldn't want to have it every time I play. But as in a contrast from the way I usually play with this, we have a story and our characters are the heroes and they make everything. This is just nice. I like it. I would, if I hadn't planned for next weekend since for a month, so I probably would join the 3rd session, and I will consider future sessions. So yeah, I like it.
So the bomb was the result of 2 random rolls, and I love that it's in the proximity of the goat camp, and already there are plans to blow everything up. So yeah, the randomness definitely has its charms.
Yeah, I also like it that it's kind of relaxing. This is, for me, this is a game where I usually might drink a beer, and yeah, I don't know, kind of nice, really. So it's pretty good when I'm pretty tired, which I am right now, and a bit strung out because I'm drinking this funny energy drink here. And now I'm a bit over the moon. Yeah. Cool. I wanted to say something else. Yeah, I think, though, I have to say that the fighter, I don't know, it's a pretty, well, they have nothing much to do. The mage, they have this weird magic system, which is sounds like a lot of fun. You can do a lot of stuff with it. The thief can at least sneak around, and the fighter, I don't know, what can he do, really? He shouldn't really go into a fight at the first levels. Maybe later, when he has survived that, then he can actually do some damage, but it's kind of hard for a fighter. I mean, I'm not just saying that because I played one. I wasn't super frustrated. I liked talking myself out of all these situations, but I can see that somebody who is playing a fighter would really get frustrated, because the mage, he can pull stuff out of his ass even at first level. That's kind of awesome, like floating a troll away and stuff like this. And the fighter can't really even go into a battle with a single goblin without being afraid for his life. That's not really fun.
Yeah.
And it doesn't get better. I don't think so, because in D&D, the mages at the higher levels, they were always the ones who did everything, and the fighter was standing there and swinging his sword a bit.
Yeah.
So that's,
you have to have one, because otherwise every kind of battle goes like pear-shaped. But I
that's
think
actually more a hireling.
Yeah, probably it's easier to just hire 2 fighters, and it's probably less fun to play one.
Does it get more interesting when you get moves? When you get advanced moves?
Not sure. Let's look at the fighter.
I don't know.
I didn't look at your moves, but I would assume that if once you get to 3rd level, then you're going to get another advanced move, and that might make a huge difference for you.
Yeah, master weapon.
Well, it's just getting you're getting a better fighter, which
you're getting better in fighting.
Yeah, it's not terribly flexible.
But at least you're getting good at the one thing that you are supposed to be good as, whereas in the 1st level you're not even good at what you're supposed to be good at.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, well, it might have been better if I hadn't rolled a 2, but that's, if you're rolling your hit points, then that's what happens.
Exactly. Okay, thank you so much for playing, guys.
Yeah.
We will miss you. We will definitely miss Nandor next time.
Yeah. Well.
And actually, Dustin isn't. I'm only on the waiting list, so I'm the first person on the waiting list, but I'm also not really in the game at this point.
Oh,
So
let's see. I mean, I'm also cool with having 5 players, to be honest. So let's.
Okay.
If you have something to do, obviously next Saturday. But otherwise, we can definitely. I had 5 players before in the first series, also with a returning character, because I just like that people already know something about the world. You have established facts, you have heard rumors, and it's good to have like an experienced trawler in the party. So yeah, I would love to see you back next Saturday.
Okay, I'll be back then, and maybe somebody will drop it anyway. So we'll see.
Yeah, exactly.
I enjoyed it. I think it's fun.
Awesome.
Yeah. Good luck, guys. Take care of these goat guys.
Well, we've got a bomb in our back pocket now, right? So
Yeah. Maybe you can raid the Sarutu temple too.
All right then. See you
Thank
next
you and have a
time.
nice week.
See you next time, Sabina. Bye
bye
bye.
all.
Bye bye.